Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and
TV shows.
Hell yeah. My name is James, also known as...
Friendship.
We don't. And with me, as always, is my co-host, Nick Mason.
It's good to be here.
Friendship. I wanted to say it. I wanted to be the one to say it.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
friendship if you let me say it. And you
Okay.
acknowledge that you didn't say it.
And is that what
Do it now.
Is that what friendship's about?
Yes.
Okay. It's great to be here. It's a hot day in Melbourne.
You ain't wrong, brother. Friend. Friendship.
Nice.
So, look.
Brothers can be friends.
No.
Wow.
Because
You have two brothers.
Yeah, I know, but like, would we be friends if we didn't, beat each other up for so many years?
I mean, would you?
I guess if I met two men and we beat each other up a lot.
And you look kind of the same.
Kind of same, we wouldn't probably be friends, would we?
Like at a bar or something. Maybe you would. Maybe the fighting would bring you together.
I don't think I've ever been in a fight with somebody and now, like a physical fight, and now we're friends. I don't think that's ever translated. What about you?
What about you and Mike Tyson? Remember he bit your ear off and now you're friends?
I'm not friends with him because he's a rapist.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting take.
That's my opinion. That's probably also not the only reason I'm not friends with him. Like, I don't know him.
And you bit your ear off.
And he bit my ear off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we are going to talk about Companion and a little bit about Nosferatu. It's a bit of a horror movie week, isn't it?
Or it's a week about love.
Yeah. Next week it's Super Bowl, so we'll be talking about that and some
What's
trailers.
that next week?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. What I would say though, just before we get into any of those and the news, if you've avoided any spoilers about Companion, the movie Companion, maybe skip the whole,
Including the main poster.
including the main poster and including the second trailer. The teaser was quite vague. I think the trailer kind of gets into the premise.
Yes.
The movie is sort of structured like what is like the premise is a big sort of reveal. So what I would say is if you're thinking about seeing it, don't listen to any of the review.
I agree. I also think you can, if you do know, it's still worth saying.
still good,
and we'll
yeah.
talk about
Yeah.
that. Like, there's other things happening in it. Which,
So when we do the non-spoiler part of the review, we will mention what's in the trailer. I think.
Perfect.
The
I love
second
that.
Trailer. Yeah.
So we're going to be looking at a few things, Mason.
Go on.
We're going to be looking at a spum update.
Spum date.
Yep. Not a spum date, but a Fantastic Four trailer date for the first trailer.
Ooh.
Sooner than you think. Anthony Mackie's facing big backlash for Captain America stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I want
He'll
to.
say anything that Chris Evans already said several years ago in more or less the same words.
Yeah,
but didn't get any backlash
and
for.
still
but now,
says it and
he
whatever,
still continues
whatever.
to say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's controversial. He'll say any of that.
Do you want an update on Armor Wars? Because we'll do that.
Yes.
Do you want an update on the Sandman? Because we'll do that.
I guess.
Yeah. Do you want an update on Squid Games Season 3 release date?
Not really. Isn't that season 2 part 2?
They
really?
filmed them back to back, but
Okay, right.
probably.
Okay.
Then trailers for Sinners, Alien Earth, and a new Superman teaser. And there's a bit of controversy behind that, which we talked about
You
before the show.
mentioned googly eyes.
People are like, I don't like how googly the Superman is.
Okay.
I like my Superman not googly.
Not googly at all.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill wasn't googly, was he?
Nope.
He was skin tight and not googly at all. You know?
I'd agree with that.
And they put that on the poster.
Yeah.
This man's skin tight and not googly at all.
Is that why he's not Superman anymore?
Yeah.
Did that not resonate with people? Because they want a googly
Well,
Superman?
as you get older, you get a bit more googly, don't you?
That is true.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about...
Sometimes there's a bloke down at the pub and he's all googly.
I'm googly.
You know?
Yeah, can you buy me a drink? I'm googly. I don't want to buy you a drink or talk to you. Mason, and then the estate of Schuster...
Joe Shuster?
Joe Shuster, sorry, who was a co-creator of Superman.
Allegedly.
No,
Just kidding, he was.
He definitively did.
Yeah.
Is suing Warner Brothers
Yeah,
about the Superman movie and distribution rights, which we will get into.
That's right. We'll solve it, don't worry.
Yeah, we're going to fix that up.
And we're going to have to because he's suing for distribution rights in Australia.
Yeah, we need this fixed.
We need to see the movie.
Yeah,
so.
and we're happy to pay out of pocket our own lawyers to make sure we see this movie. And also make sure everybody's compensated, which will also be coming out of our pockets.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and this podcast.
Okay. Is Warner Brothers paying for any of that?
I don't think they want to. So we
Yeah,
might
I guess
have
we'll have to, yeah. All right. Better get out my big adding machine and my like clear green visor
Yeah,
that I
you
have
got
to wear
one?
for some reason. Yeah.
Cool.
Cha-ching.
Do you know what any of that does?
No.
Yeah, cool.
But it's fun to pull the big lever,
You pull it
isn't
down and then that all happens. Time goes below. Rob Collins, who edits this, what an incredible person.
That's right.
He fixes all that up.
Put in that stupid reverse thing from last week.
He did.
Yeah.
He's not stupid for doing that.
No.
You're stupid for making him do that.
I know.
And I say that as a friend
Thank you.
of you and Collins. I don't know. Maybe Collins doesn't like us.
What?
It's very possible.
Is it?
So you think?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just think we probably wouldn't. Imagine if you worked for us.
Yeah, those guys suck, don't they?
That's
those
what I'm telling
Those two idiots, James and Mesa.
Yeah, man.
God damn.
This is via Variety. Sony has announced that an untitled Marvel film set for a June 27th premiere of this year has been removed from its release schedule.
Armor Wars.
Sony.
Oh, Sony, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
The decision comes after their Spider-Man spin-off, Kraven the Hunter, bombed over the holiday season, grossing $61 million worldwide against a budget north of $110 million, which is I can't stress enough how terrible that is. Sure. That might be the lowest spum, even and in particular in ratio between that and the budget. Like, my goodness, that is a dire outcome.
Yeah.
What do you think it was? Like, was it anything, or did they just hold it?
So you're saying it was going to come out June of this year?
Yes.
How long does it take to film a spum? 3
I mean, it would have
months?
to have been done. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, you got to put the Jared Leto floating around special effects or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Could have been El Muerto.
Is this coming out? Have they trashed something they were working on, or is it just they just realized they needed a movie to be finished by now and they didn't do one at all?
They just figured it out. Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
It could have been El Muerto.
Because they're saying, like, this comes after Spider-Man and, like, Kraven the Hunter bombed. But, yeah, like you said, that movie would have, if this was coming out, they would have already filmed it by now.
Yeah.
It would have had to have been done.
I reckon they could knock one out in 2-3 months.
I agree.
Yeah.
It'd probably be about the same quality. El Muerto, Silver Sable. Do you think Spider-Man would have been in it?
No. No.
Yeah.
Let's start now.
I completely agree. So we know we've talked a little bit. Did we talk about it this year? Like, they are going to retool SPUM, the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel movies.
They're going to say they're going to.
I think they're going to start doing Spider-Man spin-offs. I think they're going to start doing
That's what they were doing.
No, sorry.
You mean
with
slightly...
with Spider people in it. They're going to look at Spider-Verse and go, and they're doing the Nicolas Cage one for TV.
That's true.
What if we did a Spider-Gwen? What if we did a whatever, etc. And they'll just start, what if, Japanese Spider-Man again? And so on into infinity.
Yeah, sure.
That's what I think that because they have to keep doing it.
Right.
But I think they're also probably pausing to do the Tom Holland movies because that'll tie them over until they have to start doing something else again.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. Because if they don't make them, they lose the rights. And you can't have that.
What is going to prevent these spin-offs, like you say, your Gwen Stacy, Spider-Woman, your et cetera? What's going to prevent them from being bad?
Well,
because nothing prevented these other ones from being
bad. I mean, I know there was a stipulation from Feige to
not be bad
to have a certain budget.
Right,
But that's it.
Great.
Yeah, but they seem to lean more and more away from the MCU. Remember, they managed to put the Vulture in, and there was some Venom stuff, which they then reversed.
Yeah.
And Madam Web and, I guess, Kraven are just not MCU movies, like, at all. As far as, like, no, they're not.
No.
Probably. Kraven might be.
Right.
I guess loosely you could.
Yes. Sure you could.
A movie where Kraven's in it and his brother's the chameleon, but there's no Spider-Man.
Correct.
And the Rhino. But there's no Spider-Man.
Yes.
Or he's still a baby or something.
Well, I mean, that one's set in modern times.
Oh,
if you assume Madam Web and Kraven are set in the same universe, which there's no guarantee that they are.
I assume that, yeah.
Then, and Spider-Man was born in 2003,
whatever it was set, yeah.
Okay. So he could be in his 20s now?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All the pieces fit together.
Do you like Spider-Man being in his 20s?
That's fine.
Don't mind him being an old man in his 20s?
I see.
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all.
I do want to talk about Ultimate Spider-Man a bit later, actually.
Okay.
The comic. It's good. Mason.
Go on.
Good morning, America.
Oh, good morning.
But also the show Good Morning America. They
yes.
are...
We're going to go around the horn. We're going to say every country.
Do you want to?
No.
Maybe just our main ones that listen to this.
Yeah.
Ecuador, good morning.
Absolutely.
Morning. New Zealand, I guess, good morning.
Good morning.
What else? Norway, good morning.
Good morning. What's a funny country?
Finland.
Yeah. You enjoying listening to our podcast on your Nokia mobile phones? Finland.
You stupid idiots. You still got those or you upgraded?
Yeah, that's
right. They were a good phone. They were a good phone for a time.
I agree.
You play Snake on it.
Yeah.
You play Snake on it. But now you can't. You can't do it. Anyway, Good Morning America, the TV show, on the 4th of Feb, F4, they're going to be debuting the Fantastic Four trailer.
That's soon.
Probably the one that they already released at various Comic-Cons and et cetera.
Right. Have we seen some of that?
Yeah, some of it is leaked. There's some big Galactus stuff and other bits and pieces and outfits and space adventures.
Okay.
It seems as if it is set a bit down the timeline. It's not an origin, or if we do, it'll probably be a bit up top because I think Franklin Richards is supposed to be in it, who's the kid of Sue Storm and Johnny Richards. And
correct. Yes, those things are both correct. Yes,
etc. Yeah. So, how do you feel about that, Mason?
sounds good. Talk about it next week.
Yeah, I guess we will. Yeah, and there'll probably be presumably there'll be a Super Bowl spot, or maybe they don't want to step on Captain America's a bird, and then
right.
Thunderbolts, and then Fantastic Four.
I don't know if you've noticed, but some of the TV spots for Captain America, they're really leaning in. They've put the Endgame footage back in. They're like, remember this?
I do.
We're in crunch time. They're like, you remember that?
Do you like his helmet?
Remember when Bill, you went to see that last one?
Yeah.
The nanotech helmet.
Yeah.
No, it's bad. It's awful.
It makes him more generic
I
when he's got
agree.
the helmet on. It's just one of those Ant-Man helmets that Ant-Man wears. Yeah, and they all.
I also read that DC are not releasing the Superman trailer during the Super Bowl. They were going to release it during the Puppy Bowl.
Isn't that funny?
That is funny.
Do you think it's going to be a dog-centric trailer?
Yeah, they're going to shoot a dog.
What?
Yeah, during the Puppy Bowl. Yeah.
They're allowed to do that at the Puppy Bowl.
I guess.
They put down the dogs who don't win the Puppy Bowl?
Yeah, it's like the Melbourne Cup.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What is that?
What's what?
The Puppy Bowl. What is it?
I think it's just counter-programming to the Super Bowl. I think it's just puppies on a little indoor field and they just run around.
That's fun.
I know, right?
And it'd be cheaper.
Yeah.
It's not $30 million for 30 seconds or whatever these ads are.
That's
now.
right,
I can't
yeah.
remember. Yeah. Wild stuff, Mason.
Wow.
Speaking of, Captain America Red, White, and Bird is facing some backlash. Sure, it's coming out on Valentine's Day.
Oh, bring it out.
That's a beautiful thing. But Anthony Mackie has upset some people by saying what his take on his version of Captain America is.
Bring it out and bring your mates to cheer you on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Kiss her or him.
That's right.
Do it.
Kiss whoever that is.
We'll push your heads together. We should do that.
What?
Get one of our mates to bring a date.
Okay.
And then cheer them on and push their heads together.
I guess we could do that.
To kiss.
Sure.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm okay, right?
Well, like generally.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Listen, Mason. This is what he said. Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. Now, he came out afterwards after the backlash.
That's right.
Captain America is woke. He said, "Let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and taking the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country," which is also not something that he said he didn't have.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, before I answer your question about this fictional character, I want to say that I don't respect the troops.
Yes, my character is military, but he's a fake bird. So
That's right, yeah.
I don't respect him either, I guess.
No.
But I respect him more than you, the
Yeah,
troops.
that's right, yeah. Maybe get some weird wings and then I'd respect you.
Cap has has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to, which is true. I mean, saying something like that was always going to spark backlash, especially at the moment. Things are heating up, Mason.
They're heading
I've
up.
heard the rapture's going to happen. People
You
have been
think so?
saying that. Yeah.
God, that'd be amazing.
To see?
Yeah.
Do you want to be in it?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Because then I'll be, going to heaven. And
You'd go to the spum version of heaven.
Oh, no.
You'd be heaven adjacent.
Oh, why are these clouds slightly yellow? Like they're white-ish.
Yeah.
But they're sort of odd,
Yeah.
yellowy green.
People have been pissing in them.
Ah. Ah.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be in the Bloodshot universe.
That's right. But I hope when I die, I don't end up in the Bloodshot universe. Wow.
So comic book.
I guess I could hang out with Guy Pearce. Or he died?
Yeah, he died in a big explosion, maybe.
Yeah.
Comic book resources. They spoke to Chris Evans.
Such as paper and pens.
Yes, that's right. Yes, in 2011.
That's how they started. They used to just sell comic book
Really?
resources.
Did they?
Yeah.
Paper and pens.
Those big
Easels.
big easels, yeah. Big Jack Kirby cigars. If you want to smoke a big cigar while you're drawing.
Absolutely. They spoke to Chris Evans in 2011. Chris Evans said this: "I'm not trying to get too lost in the American side of it. This isn't a flag-waving movie. It is red, white, and blue, but it just so happens to be the character was created in America during wartime when there was a common enemy, even though it is Captain America. I've said before in interviews, it feels more like he should be called Captain Good. Laughs.
Laughs. We love to laugh.
He was created at a time when there was undeniable evil, and this guy was kind of created to fight that evil. I think that everyone could agree that Nazis were bad, and he, Cap, just happens to wear red, white, and blue."
That's a bold statement. I mean, that wasn't a bold statement.
We can all agree
then.
that, right?
That wasn't a bold statement then, but now I don't think we can all agree that the Nazis were bad. Some people are saying
I've seen a
they're good now.
resurgence of but did you hear this thing Hitler said? Yeah, I mean, but he, what about all the bad? I think all the terrible things outweigh that like quite a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure he loved his dogs or whatever.
Yeah.
He did say
when
dogs.
he did say, when somebody lets you in, on the road with their car, you should give them a wave.
Yeah,
he did say that is good, but I think it's outweighed by the bad stuff.
I agree.
I'm with Nazi stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you follow Captain America, the character.
Also, probably on the way to the speech.
Yeah.
He let a car in and the guy didn't wave, and that was probably why that was in the speech.
Oh, you think so?
I think it's probably selfish more than anything. Like, it's just by chance.
Oh, this is the thing that just happened to me and I want to rant about it.
Yeah. You seen this? You heard about this?
Yeah.
I'm Hitler.
My goodness, mate.
Yeah, you seen this in the news?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so if you're a fan
Dwight D. Eisenhower, more like
Go on.
Dumb Eisenhower.
I would have gone with Doofus.
Nice. That'd be good too.
It's good too.
Yeah.
So if you've read Captain America comics or you have a vague understanding of the history of Captain America, all of this is very much in line with him as a character.
Yeah.
He doesn't just do what the people in charge of America say.
He's always losing his faith.
Or the popular thing or like his representations, they often coincide with American values.
Or maybe you're an absolute casual and all you've seen is, I don't know, the 3 Captain America movies, in 2/3 of which he goes against the government and he fights the government.
Yeah.
And he throws his shield through a helicopter or whatever and it explodes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, he's given it up multiple times. Sometimes he's a werewolf. It's not really relevant to this.
No, that's true.
But he wears many faces. Yeah. So
sometimes a werewolf face.
Yeah, so I think it is. And again, like American values and this idea of goodness, that's not a strictly American idea. That was not invented. And
who invented giving somebody a wave when they let you in their car?
Hitler.
Oh no. But that's one of the best ideas.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good idea, but like the other stuff.
Yeah, the other stuff.
We did talk about that, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, cool. So anyway, there you go. Also, the lead of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man he said he was worried it was woke, or I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he said that. Yeah, and then blah, 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 blah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Comicbookmovie.com, Mason.
Go on.
They're saying after Secret Invasion, a bad show.
It was bad.
That Armor Wars is being reworked.
It was bad and it was stupid.
Yeah.
It was bad until the final episode. Then it was bad and stupid.
We weren't even going to talk about it until that final episode.
Got us talking then,
and now I think that video's got like 1 million views or something.
Maybe
not that. Maybe not that many.
I bet it's got more than 1 million views.
It's got 2 million views.
2 million views.
Oh, it's got 1.4 million views.
1.4 million views.
Jeez Louise.
So thanks, Secret Invasion.
I should have been keeping an eye on this.
Right?
I don't know how or why.
Yeah.
But so anyway, the original idea was that it was going to be retooled, which is great. But now the original idea from comicmovie.com is that it's as good as dead. So I know Don Cheadle, who plays War Machine, was asked about it recently. Also, his character was a Skrull for some of that. So they have to mention that in this thing that's not happening, which might be a TV show or they've turned it into a movie, but now they've turned it into nothing.
Yeah, it'll be a 5-minute subplot in the next Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Like, where have you been? I was a Skrull and then...
Oh, I was an alien.
Yeah, and then a bunch of people stole all of Tony Stark's old technology. I had to go back. I had to go get it back.
I got it.
Yeah, I got it. It's here, though. It's in this box.
Do you want to see it?
No.
Do you want to hold it?
Is it just like a kind of cheap briefcase style
yes,
prop?
It is.
Oh, then I'll hold it for a bit. Yeah, I'll hold it prominently.
Yeah.
It's got the Stark Enterprises logo on it and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got that swoosh.
Oh, that's good. So is this surprising to you and do you care?
It's not surprising to me at all, and I do care. I wish this came out.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see all the classic the villains.
Yeah.
You ever heard of them? You ever heard of any
Crimson Dynamo?
Crimson Dynamo, Titanium Man.
They could have,
The Beetle would have been there. He would have stolen some of it. He would have had some of it.
Brought back Obadiah Stane.
Yeah.
As big gas-powered Iron Man.
Yes.
So, any of those. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess they're doing Iron Man stuff in Ironheart. And they'll fold Rhodey into, obviously, the Avengers.
Suitcase.
The suitcase. They'll fold him into the Avengers. Then you'll see Doctor Doom, Tony Stark, and go, you what?
Yeah.
Because sometimes he's British.
Sure.
Ocean's 11.
That's right.
Remember when he was British?
He was Basher. I remember.
Why did they do that? Why was he British?
I bet that I'm confident there's a funny reason for that, but I'm gonna look it up. We'll find out later. I'll do some research.
Do you think they were gonna cast like a lock stock kind of?
I don't think so.
Cockney geezer initially, and then we're like,
I don't think that's the reason.
Because that was like the era of that, right?
Yeah. We'll find out, and you're gonna love it.
I won't.
That's a shame.
I reckon it was. I reckon they're like, we want a lock stock fella.
Okay.
Because lock stock was what, 98?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just a thought that I'm having.
Okay.
I'm still having it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, did you find out?
No.
They should have got, Danny, he was in Lock, Stock, Danny John Jules, who plays the cat.
Yes.
Red Dwarf. That would have been a good get. I forgot he was in that. Anyway, that's our Red Dwarf episode.
That's right.
All right, should we move it along, or you want us to talk about whatever you're looking at? Doesn't say, does it?
No, Comic Book Resources, who's a friend of yours.
It's true.
And he supplied us with these cigars.
Oh, yeah.
He said, they said that there's a fan theory that his character is actually an American pretending to be from London. He loves the theory for giving him an excuse for the accent.
Because it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it is bad.
It is, but that's the fun of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bad accents. Mason's via Variety.
And one more note.
This isn't via, just so everyone note, this is not via Variety.
This is not via Variety.
Like
this is comicbookresources.com.
Our mate.
Yeah. Use offer code Kirby for free cigars.
Free?
Yeah, for your kids.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Kids smoke free.
Whoa.
Yeah, over at comicbookresources.com.
Well, that's what they do.
That's true. Cheadle debunked the rumor that the accent was something director Steven Soderbergh insisted on, saying the director told him, "You don't have to do it." To which Cheadle responded, "Well, that's how you wrote him. I'll try it."
Oh, there you go. You wrote him like that.
Yeah, okay.
I knew it.
All right.
He was going for a Cockney geezer. Yeah. You what? You toilet.
And then the remaining paragraph talks about how Cheadle is finally set to lead his own entry in the franchise with the upcoming Armor Wars.
When's this from?
This is from
Tuesday.
2022.
That was... Fuck, they announced that a long time ago.
Sure did.
My goodness. Oh, well, that's television for you.
Isn't it, though?
Sometimes it doesn't happen. Speaking of, Variety is saying that Sandman is cancelled. I quite like Sandman Season 1, but of course...
One of the crookest men in show business was behind it, so yeah.
Neil Gaiman, so a bunch of his stuff has been cancelled. He's been dropped from like Dark Horse's publisher for one of his runs on
Good Omens was going to get another season, but I think they're wrapping it up with a 90-minute special or something.
Things like that. This is their official statement, Netflix. The Sandman series has always been focused exclusively on Dream's story. And back in 2022, when we looked at the remaining Dream material from the comics, we knew we only had enough story for one more season. This is what the Sandman showrunner Alan Hamburg said in a statement to Variety on Friday. Netflix has not responded for request for a comment on the accusations against Gaiman.
Okay.
Very brave of them to say nothing.
Isn't it, though?
And say it was cancelled for a different reason and we have nothing else to say.
Yeah. You know those books that went for years and years and years, and even if you cut out all the side characters, there's still a ton of stuff about the main character. Well, actually, there was only enough for one more season, actually, so...
What a coincidence.
That's really,
it's kind of lucky in a way, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I know at the time we didn't say there was only enough story in this for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And probably if you look back at any interview with any of the people involved in the making of this, they probably went, "We hope this will go for 10 years."
Yeah.
It won't.
I mean, it was such a push. I mean, when we talked about it here, like, we'd love to see that get a second season.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. And it was right on the cusp of that era where everything was being cancelled after 1 or 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And we're like...
We'd like something to finish.
Everybody's got to see this because otherwise...
I think at this point as well, if you're like ethically worried about watching it or whatever, I mean, it's not going to matter regardless because...
They filmed it already.
They filmed it already and they're not going to take him on, well, not in the immediate future for anything else.
Yeah.
That could very well change, but I don't think it would really affect it that much. Because I'll wait till the reviews and see if it's...
Sure.
Because again, I liked season 1, but crook fucking bloke.
That guy was a good Sandman.
He was. That guy was a good Sandman.
And the rest of the cast were good in the roles they had.
Gwendolyn Christie was the devil or something.
That's right.
Patton Oswalt was a raven?
Yes.
Yeah, he's not really a bird. Mason, speaking of Netflix, Squid Games season 3 has a release.
Not even a pattern.
No. As a season 3 release date. It's coming sooner than you'd think.
I think it's coming tomorrow. Or even yesterday.
What?
That's right.
No, it's...
Prove me wrong.
I can't actually. You got me.
Yeah.
It's June 27th, 2025.
Okay.
So season 2 is apparently the 3rd most watched season on Netflix ever.
Now, if we can just circle back to your egregious claim just earlier, you said it's coming sooner than I think.
Yeah.
And based on what I said, and then your reveal of the date when it's actually coming out.
I remember.
Were you correct or incorrect?
I was actually incorrect.
Yeah.
But I'm beginning to think that you did that as a joke to make me look silly.
Interesting.
And it worked. That's what I'm beginning to think.
Well, given that it worked and I proved you wrong, I was being serious.
Well, that's good.
Let's put that up on the chalkboard. Score 1 for me.
This is friendship.
That's right. That's all right. Being petty. That's all what friendship is about, I think. Being petty about pointless things. That's what all my friendships are built on.
I agree. Trailers ahoy!
Honk.
It's our good friend, the ship, that brings us the trailers every week.
You bloody trailers.
Shut up!
Yeah, but you shut up. If I wasn't bloody, I wasn't a seaborne vessel, I'd come over there and I'd beat your bloody head in.
Oh, you're the boat, not the man on the boat.
No, this is...
Who's the guy then?
What?
Who's the guy standing on the boat?
That's my mate Barry.
Barry, fuck you. Does he talk? Or is it just the boat?
He's just crying.
Yeah, good.
Wow.
You don't even do anything, Barry. It's a talking boat that operates itself. You're fucking useless.
Oh.
Just jump in the ocean. Put some rocks in your pocket first, dipshit. Anyway, Mason.
Yeah.
Sinners got
The boat's furious, by the way.
So I'm here on land.
Yeah, but you have to get in the water eventually. You're going to go to the beach, aren't you? By the end of the summer,
I'm not going to go deep. I'm not going to go deep, Mason. I'm going to go ankle deep. It's a barge. It's going to get stuck in the sand.
Yeah, but you know what he's got?
What?
A dinghy filled with depth charges.
Whatever. Who's going to bring him out? Barry?
Yeah, maybe.
Barry's going to kill himself before that happens.
I don't know, man.
And you know that.
I think he's got a look in his eye.
Yeah, look in
that
his eye.
suggests he's got a thirst for revenge now that I think is going to keep him going.
We'll see.
Yeah.
See you next week, dipshits. Mason.
Yes.
Oh, we've never liked each other, me and this boat, by the way.
Yeah, I've noticed. Yeah.
I don't think it's ever come up yet. I didn't watch the trailer for this because apparently it's got some massive spoilers, but Sinners, which is Ryan Coogler's next movie, who did the most recent Black Panther movies, Fruitvale Station, a bunch of other stuff. One of the Creed movies, I want to say.
First one?
Maybe, yeah. Did you do one of
First
the Creed?
two?
No, I think someone else did.
Three is Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, someone else did the second one.
Right.
God, he's 38 years old. I hate that. I hate that, Mason. Let me just check. I don't think he did two. God, he's so young. Yeah, he did. Creed 2, who was an executive.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go.
Interesting. Yeah. So, and this is, of course, it's Michael B. Jordan as two twins who are also hunting for vampires back in the olden days. I think it's pretty obvious at this point that this was going to be Michael B. Jordan, Jonathan Majors team up before he got cancelled, right?
Is that what that's the twist in the trailer?
No, that's not the twist in the trailer. I'm saying that's what it would have been before Jonathan Majors.
Maybe it was. Yeah. No, I haven't heard anything.
And then
about
they went, we can't think of anybody else. Just make him twins.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. How does it look? They nailed that they're both on the screen at the same time.
They did.
No, that's good.
But yeah, the trailer does reveal,
Don't tell me.
No, I'm not going to tell you. But I'm just saying, it's a movie about vampires, so it pretty much tells you who's going to become, maybe somebody gets bitten by a vampire and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
It's
one of the brothers, I assume. Don't tell me. This is out April 18th. Don't tell me.
Okay.
Is it out April 18th? Don't tell me,
man.
Do you think
I think it's probably out sooner than you think. But you said April 18th.
Yeah, you're
that's
right.
correct.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Thought. Putting another one up.
I'm just looking at you and I don't know how you're doing this.
Yeah, it's amazing, right?
You're like the Michael Jordan of picking a date, but then it's a different date, but you're right.
That's right. Yeah. If only I could monetize this and get free shoes.
I don't know what the emblem would be.
Podman.
Yeah,
it's just, instead of the Jumpman, the legendary Jumpman iconography, it's just like a silhouette of a guy.
You think it's Jumpman and not Michael Jordan?
It's called Jumpman. The thing's called Jumpman.
Isn't that Michael Jordan?
Yes, it is Michael Jordan.
But they call it Jumpman.
It's called the Jumpman logo. I promise you.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
Is Jumpman part of Nike? Yep. Wow. Yeah. Why would they call it Jumpman?
Because he's jumping.
It's Jordan.
I know.
It's literal.
But like maybe if he did a crime or something.
Oh, smart.
But
no one's like, bring me my Jumpman shoes. They're like, bring me my Air Jordans.
Also, Mario was Jumpman.
That's exactly right. I guess he rebranded, and Jordan could rebrand as Jumpman.
Did you know what he was before he was Jumpman?
What?
Mr. Video.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking Italians.
You know why? Because originally he couldn't jump.
Good. Well, he fixed that though, didn't he?
Yeah. But anyway, to answer your question, the shoe's got a little silhouette of me, and I'm at a podcasting. Oh, yeah. I'm at the microphone. I'm also on my phone, just like barely paying attention. And
it's
I'm on my phone.
Podman, is it?
Yeah, it's Podman.
Great, really good.
Yeah.
Well, Podman, we've also got a trailer, a teaser.
That's me on Podman.
Yeah, a teaser for Alien Earth.
That's right.
Which is coming out in the Northern Hemisphere summer 2025. It's a scuttering. It seems as if it's a scuttering facehugger.
Yeah.
Inside a ship, which is making its way towards Earth. And didn't we figure out this was set after Prometheus or something and something? Is that right?
It's set in a period that's going to make it quite awkward to sneak into the aliens,
I'm assuming it'll be a town where they contain it all and or a facility, etc.
Yeah. But don't we also see it's sort of it's hit the atmosphere and it's sort of burning its way to
it'll hit. But I'm saying like within Earth.
Yeah.
Like they did in Alien versus Predator.
That's right.
Requiem and Original.
That's right.
They got rid of that problem quick smart with a big bomb or something.
Right, yeah.
I can't remember. Mm-hmm. So
looks cool.
Yeah.
And that's soon, right?
Summer, Northern Hemisphere, winter for us.
Interesting.
We're in this down south.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but is there any up or downside to a globe or a flat Earth?
That's a great point.
I guess there would be on a flat Earth. You'd flip it and then it's dust under the other side?
Oh, there's dust under a flat Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to dust it.
I guess there would be a lot of big cosmic dust, wouldn't there?
Yeah. So much to clean that. What do you feel? How are you feeling about this?
Maybe the flat Earth is good.
Maybe they could get under there.
Useful for once.
Get under there.
Yeah.
Stop talking about it and do it.
Yeah, that's
Be
right.
the change you want to see on this flat world.
Yeah. Build a big cosmic dust buster and lift the Earth
like Spaceballs.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So this is what is this for? This is Noah Hawley who did
Legion.
Maybe Fargo. Did he do Fargo?
He did some Fargo. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. That's good. Mm-hmm. All Fargo is good Fargo in my opinion. There you go. There was a brief Superman teaser as well. And it showed a demonstration of Superman's flight.
Oh, yes.
Where he does a bit of a spin through like a gap in an ice crevasse.
Right. But as with everything currently Superman that is, also non-Henry Cavill, there are critics.
There are.
And
subsect.
I saw somebody draw a little diagram that was like, why did he go this way? And why did he go in between the mountains and not the easy one? Because he's having fun, if you can even imagine such a thing.
Sorry, he's not crying.
Yeah. One tier, though. Any more than that would be
too much.
Too much.
Too many tier.
Cool, yeah.
James Gunn said there was absolutely zero CG in his face. Oh, yeah, because his face it kind of looks, if you pause it on a freeze frame, maybe his eyes like slightly askew. Okay. Which is also not what he looks like.
Sure.
If you see him in an interview or standing or in a movie or any other picture.
He's not like...
I'm Professor Mad-Eyed Moody from Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm actually David Tennant's character or whatever. Spoiler alert. Mason.
Go on.
So zero CGI in his face. People's faces can look different when you put a wide-angle lens up close.
Why does he have to keep explaining this sort of
I don't
stuff?
know. Also, just don't. You don't need to.
Yeah,
the background plate is Svalbard. That's 100% real, as is David. So they've presumably filmed the background plate using a drone.
And they fired David Cornsweet out of a cannon.
Out of a cannon.
Yeah. And they're like, David, it would be easier if we were to fire you over the mountains. Mm-hmm. But because in this scene, Superman's having fun, we're going to shoot you between the mountains.
You can go googly-eyed as well.
If you want to.
You can, we want
James,
you to.
Can I?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go googly-eyed as Superman. Well, live your dreams, David Cornsweet. Here we go. You might die.
Yeah, you'll die.
So, you might, because we are firing you between these mountains.
This is a good opportunity for you.
Yeah, that's right. Also, we're not paying you. This is exposure to the elements. You're going to freeze to death. But that's good for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
July 11th.
Nice.
So that's when we'll know.
Mm-hmm. That's when we'll know.
Honestly, when I saw it, I went,
we might know.
Yeah.
If it's released here.
True. We're getting to that. But yeah, I didn't think this was anything when I saw it. I went, cool.
Yes, same.
And then
but we're not cutting it to pieces with a cinematic scalpel, James.
I even put it in the thumbnail last week.
Yeah.
On the YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't think anything about it then. Well, I was looking at Tom Cruise, who's also in that thumbnail. Ooh. He's all right, isn't he?
Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
I mean, he's physically alive.
I think so.
My goodness. Here we go. You were speaking of suing, Mason.
Mm-hmm.
You can get on board for this, actually. You can make some coin. Deadline is reported the estate of Superman creator Joseph Schuster is suing Warner Brothers Discovery. Their one conglomerate.
Absolutely.
One bought the other. I can't remember which one.
Mm-hmm.
I think Discovery bought them.
They did, yeah.
And it's DC Comics claiming it lacks the rights to release the upcoming summer tentpole film Superman to a handful of key territories. You might think, is there a grounding in this? Potentially.
Oh.
These are the details. They're seeking damages and an injunctive relief for defendants' ongoing infringement in Canada, the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Australia, as well as declaratory relief establishing the Schuster estate's ownership rights across relevant jurisdictions. And apparently, this is I'm going to do a little bit of legal mumbo jumbo.
Oh, yeah.
Mason's going to explain this.
Okay, here we go, yeah.
Though Siegel and Schuster... Though Siegel and Schuster assigned worldwide rights to DC's Superman in 1938 for $130.
That's true, they did.
$65 each.
The receipt, of course, sold for more than that at auction. Did we all know that?
What did that make?
Like 10 grand or something?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
The copyright laws of countries with the British, those are the countries we mentioned, contain provisions automatically terminating such assignments 25 years after the author's death, vesting in the Schuster estate the co-author's undivided copyright interest in such countries, the suit says. So Schuster died in 1992, Siegel in 1996. So by operation of law, Schuster's foreign copyrights automatically reverted to his estate in 2017, which also was when the last Justice League, last time we saw Superman cinematic. No, he was in Black Adam, but I don't know if they would have. It's not a Superman movie. I don't know. There's probably a specific other thing. And 2021 in Canada, so it's basically saying that they're just exploiting Superman across areas which they don't own the rights to anymore due to copyright as a result of the original creator's death.
Okay.
So there might actually be something in this. I'd imagine if they pay out, they'll just give them a bunch of money, cut them a check, and then move forward.
So, yeah.
I'd imagine. I mean, yeah. I don't know what they get from it still, the estate. Yeah. Hopefully a bunch.
Do they do this every time there's a Superman movie coming out? Did they do it for Man of Steel?
No, this is new because it was 25 years after the author's death.
Right, but I'm saying, have they done it before under different
circumstances? No, because I think, they end up getting some kind of recognition, didn't they?
Yeah.
But it was after they were long dead.
Yeah.
And then they started actually putting their names in the movies and
that's
things
right,
like that, so which they weren't doing for a time.
But it said two dumb idiots in the credits. Two dumb idiots,
Two dumb idiots with $65 each.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So honestly, good luck to them.
Yeah, it's Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, two dumb idiots. We spend more on lunch than $65 each
Absolutely
today.
they do. Can you imagine creating Superman and then dying with none of that money, except for $65? I mean, it was pretty late.
No,
though,
exactly.
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
And
it was very late in the game. Yeah,
it wasn't $1 billion or whatever.
No, it wasn't $1 billion. Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah. Oh well, it'll be out of copyright in when 2035, something like that.
Maybe.
Great. Let's move on.
And then we can have a low budget Superman horror movie where he's a serial killer.
What if Superman?
Can you imagine?
Did you see the trailer for Pan?
Can you imagine?
Did you see the trailer for Peter Pan's a Killer?
Yeah, it was at the front of Companion. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it looked not bad.
I thought it looked bad.
It vibes.
Oh, yes, okay.
It's a bit where he tried to drag a kid into a drain. I'm like, I've seen this in a movie.
Yeah.
Can't trick me.
That's
movies.
right.
I know old movies.
Yeah. Can't trick me in the movie or in real life.
Nope.
I wouldn't go into a drain.
Nope.
Not even for a chocky bar. Well, maybe.
That's right.
Depends what kind. Yeah.
A Chiquito.
No.
Yeah, no. Yuck.
Yeah.
A Twix?
No, too chewy. I found recently too chewy.
Reese's Pieces?
No.
No?
Violet Crumble.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
Crunchy?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I like them both, but Violet Crumble is better.
I agree.
Should we move on to the next segment of the show?
No, let's rate more chocolates.
Oh, we're going to do that in the next segment, though.
Okay, great.
Yeah, cool.
It's the chocolate segment.
Yeah. It's companion time, everybody. Do you have a companion?
Yeah, it's this Violet Crumble.
Very good. Yeah. What do you think of it?
Delicious.
I was going to do a movie spoiler. I won't do that.
Yeah.
I won't do it.
You love to do a movie spoiler.
You tried to spoil Sinners for me earlier. Don't tell me about spoiling movies, man.
That's right.
You goddamn dog. Mason.
Yes.
On a budget of $10 million.
Slow.
Pretty good. It's got a box office return. It's US opening. It's not going to be huge, but it's going to have a 10 million plus. It's just in the US.
Yeah.
This will make its money back. And
Yep.
I'd imagine it'll probably end up anywhere between 50 and 60 million, maybe a
Not
bit lower.
bad.
Even if it made 20, no, 20 is not great. Let's say it made 30 to 40.
And then they give us 10.
Yep.
And they do it in cash under the table, so I don't have to pay any taxes.
I don't want tax. I just want the money.
Exactly. Just give us that money.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, so I think this will turn a tidy little profit.
Oh, yes.
As it should. Because it's a fun little jaunt. Now, how is this tied to other horror movies? That one that was big and people liked it, Barbarian.
It's not. Well, except for the fact that, it's not. The Barbarian was directed by Zach Kreger, who's a former member of the Whitest Kids You Know, the sketch comedy group. He has produced this. This was written and directed by Drew Hancock, who does not have a clickable link.
No, that is everything. He might have been involved with Fred 3 Camp Fred.
Okay, great. Terrific.
So that's good.
Okay, great. Written and produced by Drew Hancock, produced by Zach Kreger, Roy Lee, Ralph Margulies, and J.D. Lifshitz.
Oh, yeah.
But it's starring Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid. They're a couple on a weekend getaway with friends at a remote cabin.
That's right.
And is everything as it seems? Yes. It's boring. Just kidding.
Something happens.
Stuff happens. I tell you that much.
What do you think the story was?
Well,
you just did it.
I did just do it. But to reveal something that is in the second trailer.
And also the poster.
Is it?
Yeah, there's one of the posters where you see the...
Oh, interesting.
Again, I know you talked about this up top. If you're interested in this, if you like a horror movie, a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Just jump ahead.
I would say it's pretty light on for the horror.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's not incredibly gory.
No.
It's got a few little twists and turns.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a spin on other things you might have seen.
Yeah,
like
there's some little nods and
There's a bit of
references.
Ready or Not. There's a bit
Yeah.
of the Terminator. There's other bits and pieces kind of within it.
Yeah, but yeah, it does flow better, I think, if you don't know anything about it.
Agreed.
But the reveal is that the initial reveal is that while Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher seem to be the perfect couple, Sophie Thatcher is in fact a robot, and she believes she is a robot. She believes she's a human being.
Yeah, which is how robots are apparently designed in this future world, because it makes them more, I don't know, realistic, and
Yes.
so they won't flip out, I guess.
Yeah,
much.
they've been given memories and
Basically, and they've been given blind spots, it seems, to their own
roboticity.
Yeah, roboticity, multiplicity. Michael Keaton.
Very good. Very good word association, which is what we do here.
That's right. So Sophie Thatcher.
Here, the movie Here.
Oh yeah, robot. It's a Scarlett
Vision.
Johansson. What?
Vision?
The Vision.
Paul Bettany's in that.
He's a
movie.
robot.
Yeah.
He's a robot synthoid boy.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid are the leads in this. They're great. Jack Quaid having a bit of a good time, isn't he? A bit of a run at the moment.
Yeah.
He's so tall, I think.
He seems tall.
I don't know.
All right.
He's in The Boys. Sometimes when he like Homelander squares up to him because Huey's supposed to be like little, and Homelander's like big. It's like, oh, he's much bigger than Homelander.
Yeah.
Which I think also adds to the show, honestly. But Megan. What else is the cast in? We got
Megan Suri, Lucas Gage is in this.
Yep, I really like Lucas Gage. Do you remember when he went viral? I think when he was in that, they were doing a casting over Zoom. And I think it was, I want to say the director.
Oh, it was
Mackie.
like, look at this idiot in his garbage apartment or whatever.
Yeah.
Was that him?
That was him.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That was him with the garbage apartment,
Yeah.
not him saying that.
And he was very like cool about it. He was
Right.
like, oh, that's why I would love to get this job so I know this is a garbage apartment. And
Right.
whatever. But yeah, you might have seen him in like the White Lotus and a bunch of other stuff. Yeah.
He's American Vandal.
Yeah.
He's the American Vandal.
Is he?
Well, he's in it.
I don't think he's the American.
No, he's not.
Yeah. Gage posted a clip of his audition on Zoom during which director Tristan Shapiro could be heard criticizing Gage's apartment, unaware the microphone was not muted. Gage received messages of support from others in the film industry, and then although he did not get the job, the rejection allowed him to accept a part in The White Lotus. Isn't that awesome?
That's good.
Yeah, and he's got great hair.
He does have great hair. That's true, yeah.
And we'll talk about that later. And Rupert Friend, of course.
No friend of mine. No friend of mine either.
Neither of us have, because we're our own friends. We don't have other friends.
I have some other friends.
You don't. You're not allowed to.
Okay.
I want you to call them right now, all of them, on speaker.
Can I text them?
Yeah, actually, do that.
Okay, I've done
Just wait.
it. I've done it. They're all dead to me. I just sent a group text. You're all dead to me. No, I will not elaborate.
Remember when you got kicked out of that group chat of people from your school?
Yes.
Because you didn't say anything for 4 years?
Yes.
How'd that make you
I
feel?
did say one thing. I did say, what is this alt-right ICQ that's going on here?
Did you say that?
Yes.
When in the timeline of...
Quite early on.
That's a good joke.
What are they up to? I don't know. I don't know what the group's up to.
Mate, I can only imagine and speculate.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, beyond that, this movie, delightful fun, I thought. You know, it's Sophie Thatcher nails, synthetic being that does have thoughts and dreams and emotions, but then it turned out they were all fake.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's a very... I was like, this is a way to frame it. It's a very human performance as
It
well.
is.
Then she's not like, beep, boop, I'm a fucking robot or whatever.
although her nickname is Beep Boop.
Oh, that is true. So I think, she plays it like a person for the most part. Which obviously works. I think also it's interesting that it's not real. It doesn't really care about like the ethics behind a robot, about not harming or what it can and can't do. Like those rules exist in this world, but it's like, you can get around those. Like it's not really like, oh, what does it mean to be like, what can a robot do that a person can't? It's just like, no, they're just like phones. People don't care. You can hack them, you trick them.
Yeah.
You know, you can
you
can have sex with them and whatever.
Set them on fire.
Set them on fire. It doesn't like whatever. I think that's an interesting. Yeah. It doesn't get caught up in that. And it's also like when one would go like off the rails, it's not a big deal. like the police aren't, oh my God, or whatever. It's not like a SWAT team is like, oh my God, a robot has gone rogue. It's like,
just shut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get a new one. Who cares?
Yeah. A lot of fun references, I think, to other,
There's a very direct Terminator reference.
Yeah. Some references to probably Westworld and.
Oh, Westworld, yeah.
Yeah, one of your faves.
Yeah. You never see like, I don't think you never see like a Vision, really, do you?
You do.
Is there a moment?
There are some rebooting moments. There's a moment where you the user makes a love link with the robot.
That's right.
Yeah.
There is that. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right. Yeah. But it's not like ones and zeros and shit all the time or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's also a plot.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in spoilers.
We will,
There is a plot. There is a reason this woman realizes she is in fact a companion and not a real person.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, good. Jack Quaid's great.
He is.
He's delightful. The only other movie I've seen him in, he's in a rom-com with Maya Erskine called Plus One.
I don't think I've seen that.
And it's got what's interesting about it, it's one of those movies where it's got the classic rom-com premise, which is two best friends and they're like, we gotta go to all these weddings together. We'll be each other's plus ones or whatever. Are they gonna fall in love? But it's got a kind of like yes. But it's got like it's got a good like an indie vibe. It's like a classic rom-com premise, but you actually believe that it might happen to these real people.
Okay,
I think it's good. He's very convincing. I think he's good at this too.
I mean, he does have the charisma of both Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid.
That's so true, isn't it?
It's got a lot going, and often that won't even get through. It won't filter in.
Oh.
They're all fucked up.
Yeah,
but he doesn't seem to have that.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, go on. You were saying?
He's just good.
He's good.
He's good at slowly building like an awful guy persona.
Totally.
Kind of like, and like starting out normal and then building like a boiling rage, or we see it on The Boys, or like,
we've seen it.
Like a building anxiety or what have you,
We've seen it in like, he was in like Scream 2022 or whatever. He was in Oppenheimer.
Oh, yep, that's right.
And he was
I have seen him in other movies.
And he was in Hunger Games, original Hunger Games. He was a young man. So yeah.
Younger Games.
Yeah, Younger Games. I think also it's interesting how it deals with like masculinity and femininity and being a man in the modern world, but through like this different lens. But it's not so different than the way that people treat women, or maybe even react online.
Turns out it is about some stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I think it handles that in an it's not a far-flung future. It's like now, but there's robots.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things that still exist now exist, except it's robots that you can take advantage of.
There is a moment in the movie, quite early on in the movie, where it's before the reveal that she is a robot.
Yeah.
And where they've had a big night and they both get up and she's like, oh, we're going to go down the beach. And he's just like, no, a big night, you go, I don't care.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And it's like, he seems like the guy who would do that even if
Totally,
she wasn't a robot, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
He doesn't want to hang out. Like exactly.
It's like, well, I know we had plans, but I don't care.
Yeah,
so,
do whatever. Yeah. So yeah, I think I had something else to say in the non-spoilers, but I don't know.
Is it a big spoiler?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a spoiler. It's a non-spoiler.
Interesting.
I was saying. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna say it's the best movie.
I agree. Best movie.
A lot of fun little movie.
Yep.
Good.
Agreed.
What do you think about that?
No, I'm with you.
Great.
100%.
Terrific.
Yeah. What was I going to say?
James, I'm going to give you unlimited time to think of it, because that's what friendship's all about. But I am going to stare at you as if time is of the essence.
But it's not.
It's not, just to be clear.
Yeah.
And I am going to be tapping on my watch.
Your foot is tapping too.
Yeah, my foot's tapping. Yeah.
And you're chewing on that icy pulse stick.
Yeah. And sometimes I'm doing this.
This is helping. Maybe we'll move it along.
Okay, great.
And you can keep doing that.
Okay.
All right, spoilers.
Spoiler time.
So basically she commits a murder to what they think is a Russian gangster.
Yes.
And they're like, oh my God, this robot has killed this man.
He's one of the guests. He owns the cabin.
He owns the thing. He's a multimillionaire. They think he's a gangster or whatever. Turns out he's not also. But it turns out robots, like they often are invented in these universes, they have a series of laws which they can't do. They can't harm others or other robots or lie or whatever. But she had been hacked by Jack Quaid to kill this man, so they just steal a bunch of his money, which he has in the house.
They're going to make it look like she glitched and there was an accident, and it's all her fault. Yeah. They didn't have anything to do with it. It's, and in the meantime, they're gonna crack into his safe and steal the money. But of course, she, figures it out and goes on the run.
Yeah.
And they're going to track her down and kill her.
I think what is also interesting about this idea of them, so it's him and his friend who decide to do it to try and get away with it. It's so obvious fairly early on that he was never going to get away with this.
Right.
Like he didn't think it through because they're programmed not to do it. And if this robot suddenly kills a person and then they turn up and it's like memory is wiped or whatever, or the set, like they're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like they would have thought about this because otherwise the company is liable.
Yeah. There's a moment where the technicians show up.
Yeah.
And it's two technicians in a van and they go to collect the body of the companion. And one of them's like, yeah, he definitely acted.
Yeah.
This is
He's going to jail.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, and they don't even send like, again, the police. I mean, the police are in this, but they just send like, it's just a small cleanup, like tech support crew. They would see this a lot. People fuck around with their robots and then something happens and then they're like, okay, no, I've seen this before. You know? It's like when people put their, computers into a laptop repair shop or whatever and it's like there's a, and people can see all your pornography.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So, we're talking to you now. If you've just dropped off your laptop, get it back. And you're listening to this podcast, get it back quickly. They know.
They absolutely know. But also they don't care unless it's like illegal.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I think what is really interesting, I've seen this online, like, and it's a lot of this on X, where it's like, oh, look, AI girlfriend.
Excuse me, what it's called?
X.
What is that?
It's X now. It's Twitter, Mason. Whatever the fuck. Who cares? It sounds worse if I say X. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yuck. No, that's... Anyway, but you do see posts of people being like, oh, sorry, ladies, it's almost over. There's AI girlfriends and AI and robots and we can have sex with robots. It's like, mate, they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't want to fuck you anyway.
That's
this is good for them.
Yeah,
It's not a disadvantage to them that you can have sex with a robot. That means you're off the table.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
You're stuck at home now.
That's right.
So,
but yeah, so Iris, the name of the robot, she escapes into the woods. She gets Jack Quaid's phone and she can
tinker with her settings.
She can tinker with her own settings. It's a lot of fun, which is what Tandy Newton does in Westworld.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Bumps up her intelligence and all of that. I think it's interesting because she doesn't know she's a robot until Jack Quaid tells her. And that changes the dynamic of how she reacts to things. I think becoming self-aware and then she's able to, there are still limitations, like she can't lie and she can't do harm and all of these kinds of things. But... Oh, no, she can do harm. There's whatever. It changes throughout the movie, whatever. But like, there were still those limitations, but like the some of the safeties are off when they know what they are.
Yeah, right.
I thought that was an interesting angle on it as
well.
There
is a second twist in the movie, of course.
That's true.
Which is that Patrick, Lucas Gage, also a robot.
Very obviously a robot from when you first see him.
I was surprised.
100%. I was like, these dudes, one of those dudes is a robot.
Is that because you have a Lucas Gage sex robot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Sorry, ladies. I've got a Lucas Gage sex robot. I'm off the market.
But then they're like, all right, well, we've got a robot of our own. Let's just,
use that to
increase his aggression to 100% and send him out to kill Iris. And there's a couple of great nods to Terminator 2 in this.
Yeah.
He gets, he kills an investigating cop and then puts on the
uniform.
The classic uniform, yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, and it just said, what I thought was like added to the comedy of this, like every time another person was killed or they hacked another robot or an extra thing would happen or another person would like enter the story, it's just, you're going to not get away with this.
Right.
Like it's just not going to happen. You're not smart enough to kind of... You barely understand this technology. What did you think was going to happen this entire time? And I just, I know you talked about it, but the idea that the cleanup crew turn up and it just like, we know what this is.
Like he's so smugly, at one point he's got sitting at the dinner table and he's like, here's the gun from the safe.
Yeah.
Now put it to your head and shoot yourself. And then I'll say, oh, she shot herself. I don't know what happened. It must be a glitch. And then the technicians are like, well, the brain's not in the head.
Yeah.
It's not. Why would we put it in? That's just the Wi-Fi antenna. The brain's in the stomach.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only thing would be also like if they thought that he was responsible for this, they wouldn't tell him that.
No, sure.
But maybe did they know about the murders at that point? Maybe they
Yes, they did.
Okay, right, okay. Well then, there you go.
Well, then this movie's fallen on its face.
I completely agree. All in all, I liked it a lot.
Me too.
Yeah, check it out.
Hope it does really well.
Me too.
Looking forward to Weapons, which is the next Zach Krieger movie.
Whatever that is.
An untitled Resident Evil reboot, which
We talked about last
we
week.
talked about last week. Do we want to talk about this? Here's some dirty laundry.
Okay.
Last week we talked about it, and we mentioned that the movie rights to Resident Evil are owned by Constantine Films, and then you mentioned to me that Constantine Films hit you with a copyright strike.
Oh, they fucking did too.
Yeah, those guys.
Yeah, so that's on...
Because Constantine Films also own the rights to the unreleased 1994
Yes.
Fantastic Four film, which we've done a video on.
That's right. We did have this conversation. So yeah, that video's from 2020.
Okay.
And nobody's looking at it
Yeah.
now, like
Right.
regardless.
Uh-huh.
It's got 464,000 views. But yeah, I have a copyright strike on my channel related to this, and I could name the guy who did it because you have to put your name in.
Right.
And it's something like 90 days or whatever to, I don't know, to...
Yeah. So anyway, we
respond.
hope this Resident Evil reboot dies on its ass, is what we're saying.
I mean...
Also, the guy there doesn't look old enough to have been around.
Oh, no,
when they
absolutely
made
not.
that
We looked,
movie.
yeah, we looked it up.
So
yeah.
I think he's just, I don't know,
I
just
could
looking
name
to cash
it. I
in
got
somehow.
the name right here.
No, let's not name him.
Yeah. So basically, the way it works with copyright strikes, they have to, because he struck my channel,
Yes.
and if he doesn't respond within, I think it's 30 days or whatever it is, it goes back to normal, or he has to sue me directly.
Interesting.
So I mean, this has happened to me before, so I can't imagine it would be worth their time
No.
to go after me, but maybe they will.
But luckily...
There's 1,000 reviews of this on YouTube.
Yeah, that's true.
I've-
Maybe
I've
they're
done a
going through
bunch.
it. Maybe it's because the Fantastic Four is becoming a
Yeah,
new...
absolutely.
Like, they're like... But if anything, first of all, that 1994 Fantastic Four movie,
Yeah.
it's not... Like, they've never released it commercially.
No, and I
So,
wonder
like-
if that plays into
Yeah,
it at
maybe,
all.
I
I
don't
have no
know.
idea, honestly. I just don't know.
Yeah. And as you were saying, James,
Yeah.
after 30 days, they get murdered.
Yeah.
Because there's consequences for people who do this.
Oh, absolutely.
Big
there
time
is.
consequences.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For those who don't know, yeah, there's no repercussions
At all, yeah.
People can strike channels for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then if they're like, oh, that's not, that wasn't true, nothing happens to them.
Yeah.
They can just keep doing it for as long as they want. And there are companies that do this sometimes on behalf of other companies, or they just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And technically, if you get 3 strikes, your channel gets removed. But I don't know. Which happened to me before.
Yeah.
Something else, but
That's right.
yeah, this is fun, isn't it?
It's fun.
Anyway, Mason, it's good. Should we talk about Nosferatu?
Let's talk about
Give that a bit of a
Nosferatu.
rundown.
That's right.
Just quickly, this is Robert Eggers' latest movie. It came out.
The latest Robert Eggers joint.
Yes, it came out in December. A budget of $50 million. It's at the moment it's about $167 million.
Doing well.
Doing well, better than
his
The
best,
Northman.
This is his best performing movie ever, I think.
I think it's. I think it was marketed well and it had good word of mouth. It was a known kind of thing. Oh, this is a Dracula. I guess they had trouble kind of selling The Northman, which I really enjoyed.
They should have said it was Hamlet, but he's got abs. Ablet.
Ablet. That's good.
Yeah, thank you.
That's an Australian football reference.
Thank you. I just came up with that.
Yeah. I was here.
Yeah, I know.
So it's a reimagining sort of like the original Nosferatu.
I was going to say, just before we get into that, Eggers has done, he did all the appearances and all the things, breaking down a scene and, he didn't do hot ones.
Eating the Snickers.
He did the, he did the Criterion Closet.
Yeah.
He did the Conbini Video Club, which is the French version of the Closet. It's just an old video store.
Is it just French movies? Because I wouldn't do well in that.
No, it's every movie that exists.
I'd be like,
pretty much.
Amelie?
Yeah.
I can't really name a Gerard Depardieu one. That's all that I know. Asterix? But not the Gerard Depardieu
Oh, no,
ones.
different one.
Different ones,
yeah, and I don't know. Sometimes he gets flack for being like a pretentious video guy.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is at all. I think he
Yeah.
just likes movies, and he's just like, I got to see all the movies.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll mention an obscure French film or whatever it is, but it's just because he's like, I saw this and it was good.
Yeah.
I wanted to see a new movie and I saw this movie. It was there and it was good.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't know if you saw he doesn't want to do a film, like a modern film with like a cell phone in it or whatever. He's just like, I have no interest in doing that. I want to, he seems like he likes crafting worlds set in other time periods.
Yeah.
Because he likes the minutiae and the detail and just getting a real feel for something, which you see across all of his movies, all of which are good, all the ones I've seen.
I agree. I've seen them all, and they're all good.
Yeah.
I mentioned last week I saw The Witch for the first time, my least favorite. Still liked it.
Still good.
It just kind of like, that one feels like a short film that's kind of like expanded to feature length, or at least it did to me. But it's still, very well done.
Yeah.
Good performance. It's got Ralph Ineson, and he's all hello.
And he's now going to be Big Galactus or whatever.
That's right, yeah.
Big real Galactus, big hat. Anyways, Nosferatu, though.
Yes.
What do you think the story was?
Oh, come on, mate.
It's all right.
As you mentioned, of course, Nosferatu was the original version from 1922.
Yeah.
Was essentially a cheap ripoff of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
And Stoker's estate sued the makers of it to get because it was a ripoff essentially.
Yeah.
Or an homage. And almost all, and they ordered the courts ordered all copies destroyed.
Yeah.
And almost all of them were, but then a few survived, and so it nearly became lost media. There was this one. There was a version in 1979, I think.
Yeah.
There's Shadow of the Vampire, which is about
It's the making
of the original one with Willem Dafoe is in it.
But he's playing an actual vampire.
He's playing Count Orlok. The actor who's playing Count Orlok, but he's also a vampire.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
and now he's in this.
Now he's in this. But he's not the Orlok.
No. Anyway, so this is
if you've seen, I guess, classic Dracula, it is essentially that. If you've seen Bram Stoker's horny Dracula, very similar.
Very similar. Not as horny.
No.
But also by its nature, it's more streamlined.
Yes.
Because I think the original was kind of, because it was cheaper.
It goes off that
that
Bram Stoker's one or whatever. It goes off in a lot of different directions. Which this doesn't.
No, because essentially I think it was probably like we're making this, less expensive version for a different audience, and so it's kind of we'll just get the meat of it and we'll cut out the rest.
When there's like shots of like at the town and it's going over and things like that. Is there like model work involved in this, or is that CGI? Because I know he does a lot of
it's practical. Okay, so here's one I looked up.
Yeah.
So there's a moment in this. So we've got.
Is this one you talked about last week or a different moment? The bit where he arrives at the castle.
Oh no, that's it.
Yeah.
I mentioned
We'll
that.
talk about it again,
I'll bring it up again. So this, of course, it's got Nicholas Hoult in the Jonathan Harker role in would be
which
in
was
Dracula.
actually originally going to be Bill Skarsgård who plays Count Orlok.
Okay.
Yeah,
but in this is Thomas Hutter, and he's the lawyer who goes to Count Orlok. He's sent to Count Orlok's estate in Transylvania to broker a real estate deal.
Yes.
But of course, on the way there, he encounters a sort of Romani village fam, and they're all like, "Come on, man!
What are you doing?
Come on,
here?
man! You're in a horror movie.
Yeah,
you're in a Dracula movie.
There's a Dracula up there.
Yeah, all the Dracula rules and stuff.
Yeah,
don't get involved with the Dracula."
No.
And he's like, "I haven't seen any movies because they don't exist yet." Yeah. So I'm gonna go anyway. But anyway, there's a moment in it where he's in a carriage. And he's feeling all out of sorts, like he's a horse-drawn carriage, and he's feeling all out of sorts, and he's like, oh, and then the camera moves, and he's not in the carriage anymore. He's out the front of the door of the castle.
Yeah.
And I looked at that, and I'm in the cinema, and I'm like, that maybe went too fast for me, but I'm pretty sure he was in like a carriage, like a pull-apart carriage, and they did it in camera, and I looked it up, and that's exactly what they did.
Love that.
And that I think is kind of a nod to Bram Stoker's Dracula, where Coppola's nephew.
Yeah, or
Roman
son,
Coppola,
maybe,
or son, or he did all the effects in camera.
There's one blue flame effect, which is an optical effect, but everything else is in camera.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, there is a moment where you see like Nosferatu's hand, like the shadow going over a village, and I can't imagine they would have been able to do that without.
They used a big balloon.
CGI, but it looked so. I'd imagine like maybe even if they built the town, it's so expansive,
right?
I just think I don't think that would, and that's not really something that he does, which I thought was interesting.
Anyway, Thomas is sent. He leaves his wife, played by Lily Rose Depp, Ellen.
I thought when I heard she was reaching Anya Taylor-Joy, I'm like, that's disappointing. But she's actually really
great,
good in this. Yeah, she's really
great.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, she's channeling various evil spirits and etc. But he leaves her and he goes to Transylvania to broker this deal. And of course, Count Orlok, he wants to come to London and spread his evil.
Give her a big kiss.
Give her a big kiss, of course, because he's that. Is that a spoiler?
I mean, that's the story of Dracula. Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, I guess it's true. Yeah. Because he was a former love of sorts of her in the past.
Or he was in her mind since she was very young and he's been grooming her from
that's
a distance.
probably also it,
That's part of it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And also, like, in a lot of versions of Dracula and in the Bram Stoker's one, like as he, drinks people's blood and draws upon other people, he grows in power. And that does happen here, but he doesn't look better. He just looks like a fucking rotting corpse.
He does get bigger though.
He does get bigger, yeah. The entire time. And you see his dick.
You do. It's true. And Nicholas Hoult got to keep it.
Yeah.
But it's Bill Skarsgård.
Snatched it off him on the last day.
But it's Bill Skarsgård as Orlok, and he did all sorts of vocal exercises to change his voice into this. And in this, he's also more of a, he's not Dracula, of course, like the classic version of Dracula is sort of a...
I'm Dracula.
Exactly. And he's sort of, very
I'm a
coiffed and very smooth, and he's in the white tie and tails and all that sort of stuff. But in this, he's sort of some kind of undead Slavic warlord of some kind.
Apparently, the original myth, because I saw an interview with Robert Eggers, the original myth of Dracula, and when people believed that Draculas were real, was that they were reanimated corpses.
Yes.
So there was this kind of rotting fucking thing that doesn't get better.
Yeah.
And so that's what he kind of went with. He took it back to folk legend, essentially. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And of course, to round out the cast, we get Aaron Taylor-Johnson as Friedrich, or
whatever that guy's name is. Carrie Elwes's character.
Yes, exactly. We get Willem Dafoe as the kind of Van Helsing character.
Yes.
But it's Professor von Franz.
Yeah.
We get Emma Corrin as Anna, who is Aaron Taylor-Johnson's wife.
What is Emma Corrin in?
Emma Corrin was in Deadpool and Wolverine. They were...
Oh, yeah!
Professor X's
Xavier's
sister.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Stick a hand through her face.
That's exactly right.
That's Emma Corrin.
That's right. And Ralph Ineson is he's back, but he's a doctor at a sanitarium.
God, he's good, isn't he?
He's
Ralph
good.
Ineson. He's
Everybody's
really...
great in this.
Yeah.
People have said Aaron Taylor-Johnson not great. I think he's pretty good.
He does all right.
I think he does all right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
There is a part where he's like, "Good God, man,
Mr. Bridgerton."
No Dracula's in here.
That's right.
Or whatever.
Yes,
but there was often a Dracula.
yeah.
Sometimes he was a pile of rats or whatever. But
absolutely.
It was often there.
Look, I thought this was really great. I thought it was suitably spooky. There's Eggers has a thing where he does a slow pan forward and then a pan back, and sometimes there's a jump scare and sometimes there isn't.
Yeah.
And you never know what it's going to be. And I'm like, that's very effective.
And sometimes the jump scare is just a normal person just like, hey.
Yeah, that's right.
How you doing?
Yeah. Like you said, the Orlok makeup and the performance.
Very good.
Tremendous. And the
big mustache and
big mustache. And so much, there's so much of him in shadow and just in candlelight and in darkness. And it's a long time before you get a look at him, which I thought was really effective.
Yeah.
There's a moment where you first see him, Nicholas Hoult arrives at the castle and you see him just in the distance past portcullis or something like that. And then he walks away and he's got no scent of his footprints.
I didn't notice that.
I'm
okay, interesting.
That's pretty good.
Got it. He's fleet of foot.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah. I also think what I liked about the Willem Dafoe's character, so he's this kind of burnout who believes in the supernatural and was kicked out of various groups in high society because
probably his group chats as well.
Yeah, probably his group chats because he
cruel and unusual.
Yeah, he believes in the supernatural, and maybe a lot of the stuff he believes in isn't real. But this is real. This is real. So he knows what it is, but he's also like, I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you kill this? I don't fucking know.
I've never chop its head off.
Yeah.
I mean, that would work on most things, honestly.
Like I've heard about stuff like this, but I don't know. Maybe there's a book. We can find a book, I think. Yeah.
At the library.
There's a plague element to it as well, which I think is quite upsetting. Also in an era where, a plague would just rip through a town or a city and kill half the people.
And again, I don't, it's not, I don't think it's really a spoiler, again, as you mentioned, because it's a very, very old story. But it's not one of those ones where it's like, well, there's a plague, but if we defeat the villain, the plague will disappear and everybody will be fine.
Yeah.
No. Everybody's just got the plague.
They got the plague now.
Yeah.
Dracula bought it.
Yeah.
He's been biting people.
Yeah.
Because when he gets to London.
Yes.
Yeah, it is London, isn't it?
Or it's Germany.
Or something.
Yes.
But he's not biting individual people, is he? It's just like what his almost like his pestilence is.
Twisberg in Germany.
There you go.
Okay.
It's
just everybody's got an English accent.
Oh, exactly. That's what I thought. I'm like, is this London? It's almost like, he brings this pestilence with him that he spreads through rats and biting people and person to person and whatever else. Yeah. Good. Best movie ever. I guess we've done some spoilers, but
yeah, but again, it's Dracula.
Yeah.
Great costuming also. Tremendous.
Good ending too.
Wonderful, wonderful coat on Willem Dafoe.
Good God, man.
His coat, it's got all the capelets on it.
Yeah.
Oh, incredible.
I like how everybody's much bigger than him as well.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Bill Skarsgård, he does a lot of stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's very good.
I've also heard him in interviews subsequent to this, and I don't know if his voice has come all the way back. I think he's a little bit stuck in it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like the Elvis thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But I think more in the sense
he damaged his voice?
I think he might have damaged it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe he did.
That's commitment.
Maybe he damaged his voice being the Crow.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope not. You want to do it for a good movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like Nosferatu.
Or It Chapters 1 and 2.
That's
and
right.
the Pennywise spin-off TV series,
Yes.
which is coming out this year. All right, should we move it along?
Yes.
Best movie ever.
Best movie ever, yeah. We've got no spoilers? Is there any spoilers from this movie? Really?
It's Dracula.
It is Dracula.
I think it's more like there wasn't a point in this where I was like, I knew what was happening.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's this part of the narrative, and it pretty much plays out
Yeah.
as if you've seen any of these or read the book, it's fairly
It's that.
close.
If you saw the last Voyage of the Demeter, which came out last
There
year
is
or
a
the year
section of
before, or if you saw Dracula and he's got an iPad,
Yeah.
it's the first 2 episodes
Yeah.
of that. So minus the iPad stuff.
Yeah.
Pre-iPad Dracula.
Yeah.
Horny Dracula, obviously.
Yeah, big part.
Yeah.
I think, also if you like this, check out Last Voyage of the Demeter. I think that's was underseen and
Yes.
very well made. Yeah, again, we get a little bit of that here, but I think what that one has in common with this as well is that one, it's a monstrous Dracula. It's not a handsome dude.
Correct.
You can change into, you can sort of, if you look at him in a distance, you're like, I think that's a man. And
Right.
that's like the extent of his
Yeah.
kind of abilities.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, but he is of course undone. This is the one spoiler I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right at the end, he is undone because the boys, the lads,
Yeah.
they're like, we're gonna get him, we're gonna go to his castle, we're gonna chop him to bits or
kick
whatever.
him in
We're
the
gonna
head.
kick him. We're gonna give him a big kick.
Willem Dafoe, should we kick him?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that'll work.
Yep.
Yeah, the scrolls say give him a big kick.
Yeah.
Whatever. But then actually, it's actually Lily Rose Depp's character Ellen who's like, no, I'm gonna figure this. I'm gonna go this because he's been bothering me.
I
So
like
I
it.
get the power. I'm gonna get him back. And then she's like, come with me and do big kisses on me or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the morning comes and he's like, oh, I've got to go because the sunlight will just you know. And she's like, no, just stay for a bit. And he's like, all right. And I'm like, that's relatable.
I totally.
Yeah.
I get it.
Who hasn't ruined their life, you know, to some degree or another and gone, nah, it's all right.
You know, that's it. Like
It's fine.
I saw that and I was like, I get it.
Yeah. And he stays and then he's destroyed
He's
by the
fucking
sun.
dead, but he's like, eh.
Yeah.
Had a good run.
Yeah. It's all right. Boys will be the boys. Sorry, boys, couldn't make it out, boys. Sorry, boys, couldn't make it out to the big fight, boys. I was kissing a beautiful lady. Sorry, one.
And all the boys are like, we get it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
All right. Should we move it along?
Let's move it along.
To what?
What we reading?
Yep.
What we gonna read?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today?
Well.
This is a segment of the show where we're talking about all the things I've been watching and reading and doing and listening to.
You thought you'd get away with it, didn't you, James?
I did. Did I?
Yeah.
All right.
You said you thought you'd get away with not telling us what you were reading or listening to or watching.
Oh, I
this
never
week.
assumed that. I know you're too much of a keen mind to
right.
slip that one past you.
That's right.
I know we've talked about it before, but I'm pretty much, I think, now up to date on Ultimate Spider-Man.
Okay.
Which has been 12 at least.
Has it? Is there a cliffhanger? You got a cliffhanger going on?
Or maybe I'm not that far.
I'm not up
I
to
think I've
date.
got one missing. I'm
Okay.
one short. So I didn't realize, but I'd just been missing a bunch of these.
You know what's great about it as well? I'm not up to date,
Yeah.
but what's great about it is it's being released on schedule.
Yeah.
It's not just a thing where it's like, oh yeah, no, there's going to be a 3-month delay
Yeah.
between issues here.
It's also like an interesting it's not really a reimagining, just like an updating of a bunch of different characters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is the Ultimate Universe Spider-Man, but the original Ultimate Universe Spider-Man died as a teenager.
That's true.
And so for those
And he was
people,
only Spider-Man for a year.
Yeah.
Someone pointed out recently to
that's
me.
fun.
Yeah.
Or maybe this guy's maybe the same thing's gonna happen to this Ultimate Spider-Man. I doubt it probably. But yeah, I like the idea because like he's in his like mid-30s, so he's got the spider powers like much later because the Maker, of course, came into the Ultimate Universe and took away everybody's superpowers, etc. And so yeah, it's him and his friendship with Harry Osborn, who's a goodish version of the Green Goblin, and there's other superhero characters and supervillains like dotted in and around. Uncle Ben is alive and he's running a independent newspaper with J. Jonah Jameson and they're best friends.
That's fun.
He's got like kids and I think maybe one of them might be at least a teenager.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's married to Mary Jane, which he's currently not in the main regular universe.
That's correct, yes.
And he's just, this is a really good version of the character and it also feels like what the original Spider-Man should have become.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. If they didn't want to try and keep him in a constant adolescence.
Yeah.
No marriage, no.
Yeah.
No.
And he still has his miserableness and his problems and whatever. They've framed them differently.
Yeah.
They've used it. Yeah.
And you're saying that's good, and it's also good that Aunt May's dead.
Yeah, and it's good that Aunt May's dead, which is a plot point, an ongoing plot point because she remains dead.
Yeah.
Also, Mr. Negative gets a bit more play in this, who's obviously was popular. Well, he's been around for a little bit, but that Spider-Man video game, the first one on PlayStation 4? Mm-hmm. 4?
Yes.
And I like Mr. Negative. So, yeah, it's good.
That's great.
It's good and worth checking out.
I should keep
Iron Lad is in it, among others.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah.
Apparently also The Ultimates is good.
See, this is the only one I've read of any of them because I know they're doing X-Men and a bunch of other stuff. But, yeah, The Ultimates, huh?
Well, The Ultimates is being written by Denise Camp, who also read a comic I've recommended to you, which I believe is still sitting out there. It's called 20th Century Man.
Oh, God.
It's about yeah.
Isn't that next to my bed?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing with it.
Can I have it?
No.
I'm going to read it.
Get your own copy.
I do. I've got one.
Oh, no. That's true. I didn't say keep your hands off my copy.
You
you are.
Yeah.
I'm
definitely not touching it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, all right.
That's great.
I am going to read that.
Yeah.
Because we're going to do it on Comic Book Club at some point.
One day we will.
I
watched the movie We Live in Time.
What was that like?
Well, it's fun. It's delightful.
Yeah, I got to watch
that. It's ultimately quite sad.
Yeah.
So it's James. It's a Spider-Man and a Black Widow. If you can even believe it.
Yep.
Do you think I wondered about this week? Do you think people follow the actors from the MCU to other projects?
No.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think it adds to their stardom, and I think Andrew Garfield's probably and Florence Pugh. They're both outside of the Marvel stuff, but they're well known because they're good in interviews and they're relevant pop culture people.
That's right.
So I think that helps. I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
They're serving looks.
They certainly are. Mm-hmm. But isn't it a very touching story?
It is a very touching story. So it's about a couple. They meet. They fall in love. Mm-hmm. Trials and tribulations. They have a kid. There's a
slice of life.
Slice of life. There's some medical issues, but it's sort of told out of turn. You see a snippet, and then you see years later, and then you see somewhere in the middle, and then but it's all very it's all very easy to follow, and it's.
You went lost. You went like, what's happening?
What's going on?
Where's the time machine?
Yeah.
Where was it? Where was the time?
It's in the movie In Time, and it's in a closet, or you close your eyes.
Close your eyes and
close your eyes
into a dark
and
room,
really
and you can do a time travel.
Yeah,
and you're Domhnall Gleeson.
You are Domhnall.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good Richard Curtis movie. Yeah.
But anyway, I think they're delightful together.
They are. Yeah. Well, I've seen them in interviews, but not this movie, which I will watch. Mm-hmm. We Live in Time.
Oh yeah. Will you bloody read 20th Century Men in the cinema while you're watching that movie?
Do you think I should? Do they pair well?
I think so. Yeah.
Interesting.
Right.
Interesting. All right, I will. Great. Well, that was a great segment.
Thank you.
And you made me do it. I wasn't going to. I was trying to get out of it, but you got me.
That's right.
Do you want to move to the next segment of the show?
We could.
Well, how will we do that?
Well,
we can't just be there. We have to.
No, that's true.
Do some kind of transition to bring us over the line.
Well, the segment's called Letters.
Yeah.
Is it called Letters?
Yep.
Right. It is just called Letters, isn't it?
I agree. Go on.
It goes with the Letters theme. Starts like this.
Ooh.
The classic one was letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a take away. You know they're here right now. We're going to do letters. James is in a classic prayer pose.
It's true.
He was praying for letters.
And are there
guess
any?
what? The good Lord hath delivered.
That's great.
That's right.
If you want to reach the show, you can send an email to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. Or we also have a Facebook group called the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates.
That's right.
If you head into there, there's a thread that goes up every week where you can ask a question or send a letter or whatever it is that you want to do. And some of them will be read out, but most of them won't.
That's right.
Yeah.
Some of them just lurk.
Yep.
They lurk in the Gmail.
But they're good.
Here's an email from Robert. Hey, fellas. Huge fan of the show, podcasts and videos, and have been for a long time now. You're both incredibly entertaining.
Yeah.
And you're the main source of my need for my you're the main source of my need for my biggest interest now. Okay, if you say so.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you at all. This week on the pod, a wrestler reached out to you guys and Meso wondered if he's the only listener to have won a belt. This is incorrect. I've been a professional wrestler for a few years now.
How many?
And have won a few championships in my time. I go by the name Rob Ridley, and I wrestle in the UK, but have just moved into Melbourne. I was thinking that all the wrestling listeners should compete for the Weekly Planet Championship one day.
How would we do that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking up this Rob Ridley fella right now.
Oh, yeah, is he huge? Is he
got a
huge?
belt.
Interesting.
Well, looking at this picture, he's not as big as I am. But I am looking at it on a smaller screen.
Yeah, that's true. If you're looking at on a screen the size of a man,
Yeah.
he'd look at least as big as a man, I think.
That is true.
But now he's sort of more the size of a postage
Yeah,
stamp,
he's like
I
yay
guess.
big at
Yeah.
most. Yeah, he's got a good wrestling look though. Tell you what. Oh, there's a picture of him and he's really big next to a smaller guy.
Okay.
But that smaller guy might be really small.
Or really big.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't even know.
If the little guy's 7 foot tall,
Yeah.
he could be 8 foot tall.
Do you reckon he's able to? Oh, he's holding so many belts in these. That's cool, man.
Robert says, anyway, I like incorporating my interests into my move set. Do you have any ideas for some comic book related names for wrestling moves, such as the Killing Joke, Maximum Carnage, etc.?
The death of Superman.
Nice. That's right.
The reign of the Superman.
Oh,
Superman versus the Elite.
nice.
Superman battles Doomsday, Batman v Superman.
Nice.
Wonder Woman's there.
Wonder Woman's there.
And then he dies.
Yeah, nice.
Kryptonite spear.
Nice.
Yeah. What else?
What about the Weekly Planet punch you in the nuts?
But you actually punch them for real.
You punch them for real in the nuts. And you go, I don't care if this is an illegal move. Those guys on that podcast told me to do it. And then you hit them in the nuts.
And it's real though.
And it's real. It's real. Like, you know, some people debate, some of the wrestling is real, some is, for show business, et cetera. You got to hit them really hard in the nuts for us.
That's right.
You know?
And you'll maintain that belt. Maybe even get an extra belt.
Extra belt, yeah.
Which you can put over your nuts because you better be sure that they're coming after your nuts if you do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Going to happen to you. That's one of the pitfalls of doing this classic wrestling move that we invented just now.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Weekly Planet, hit you in the nuts.
The nuts. That's good. Good wrestling. Good wrestling out there.
Yeah, that's right.
Going here from Sarah James from the Great Mates Group, Mason, who says, with Mickey 17 coming soon and as a bookseller. Ooh, books. I'm interested.
Ooh, books. Should that be a segment?
Ooh, books.
Ooh, books.
Yeah, okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear if you fellas have any books you'd love to see get movie adaptations. Yes.
Go on.
I like Roald Dahl books, and I
yeah.
like some of the adaptations. They recently did The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, but it's more kind of like a stage play, and it's like almost like a retelling.
Is Benedict Cumberbatch?
He is, yeah. And it's good,
Uh-huh.
but I was also like, that's my favorite story, and I would have liked to have seen a more traditional kind of narrative of this. But that being said, I still enjoyed it. But one of my favorite books of his also, which I read with my son recently, is Danny the Champion of the World.
Oh, yes.
Like him and his dad live in a caravan, and they work in a mechanic shop. And his dad is also, they poaches pheasants.
Okay.
And that's like it's not like a fantastical one. And within this story, the dad invents, I guess if you're talking like universes, he invents like the BFG and tells the story to like his son and all of that. But it's a real world thing set in like the 40s or 50s.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe a bit later. There was an adaptation with, what's his name? It was Ben Affleck's Alfred.
Jeremy
Irons.
Yep.
But I would like to see like an update of that. I think it's just a wonderful story, and that would be cool.
Yeah.
Some other ones, if we're doing more sci-fi comic book stuff.
And we are.
Here we are. Blake Crouch does a bunch of sci-fi books. Recently, they did Dark Matter on Apple Plus,
Okay.
which is a great series. Joel Edgerton's in it. Jennifer Connelly, the guy who plays one of the McPoyles, is in it.
Jeremy Irons.
No, and he's He's also in Westworld.
Yeah.
But so that's great. But there was also another book that I read which I think I've talked about before, called Recursion.
Okay.
Which is about time travel and altered dimensions and all of that, and it's very good. And so that would be a good adaptation, I think.
Sounds delightful.
It is. You got any thoughts of a book that you'd see adapted?
The Bible.
Yeah, into
Ever heard of
what?
it?
Mel Gibson already did that. He nailed
Yeah,
it.
sure he did, didn't he?
We loved him for it.
That's actually
And
great.
he's normal.
He is normal.
Yeah.
Books, you say?
Mm-hmm.
I've never read a book.
But what if you did?
It'd be the Bible.
What if you didn't? It'd still be the Bible.
It'd still be the
You'd
Bible,
be drawn to it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'll come back to you next week.
All right, please do.
Right.
Cool. Books.
Books.
What else you got?
Here's an email.
Good luck selling books, Sarah James, by the way.
That's right. This is from Christy. I am also a pro wrestler.
What?
Hi, James and Meso. I'm a 21-year-old pro wrestler and musician from Liverpool. Huge fan of the podcast. I was listening to your most recent pod and a wrestler from New York emailed in. You guys posed the question, is he our only listener who's won a belt? No. I've also won a belt in wrestling, pictured below.
How do I find this Christy? Where is he?
It's a great question.
So I've been Googling these as we go.
Well, his full name is Christy Quinlan, I think. But I don't know what his wrestling name is. Maybe it's Big Christy. Maybe it's
Oh yeah, no, I'm seeing this.
Okay.
I think I found Christy. Oh yeah, found Christy Quinlan.
Huge fan of the pod. Currently doing a full listen from the start.
This guy's also a wrestler.
I would like to challenge Mike Detello, that's Mike from last week, to a match for the title of Weekly Planet Heavyweight Champion. Winner gets to be the official pro wrestler of the pod. I guess we should figure that out somehow.
I mean, they can figure it out.
Could they wrestle over Zoom? All of these guys.
Zoom wrestle.
Zoom wrestle, or in Marvel Rivals.
He's also holding a belt, Mason.
What if they wrestled with some sort of online wrestling game? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
or an online wrestling game?
Where you're wrestling and hassling.
Where you're wrestling and hassling.
Yeah, I think that's all good.
And
That's a good
wrestling.
idea.
Yeah.
God, there's some crazy moves these wrestlers are pulling. I think you should all follow each other on Instagram.
I think so
I think you have to do it.
Yeah, I think you have to do it.
Yeah.
That's so true.
God damn.
Yeah.
No, we had at least 3 wrestlers who had won wrestling belts and doing wrestling. We probably have some that are working their way up to a belt. So that's good too.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Oh.
Good day for belt manufacturers, isn't it?
I should see some wrestling. And by that, I mean, I know there's like big wrestling, like professional.
But there's local wrestling.
That's what I mean. I should do that because it's fun, right?
Yeah.
And it's really entertaining and like athletic. I should do that. Maybe
I mean, Robert said he just moved to Melbourne. So maybe he's going to do some wrestling in Melbourne.
Maybe.
Yeah.
On the
toilet?
Yeah, I was going to say on the steps of Flinders Street Station.
Yeah, sure. But
also the toilets
Totally.
of Flinders Street Station. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got another letter here, Mason.
Go on.
Aaron Summers said, will there be more stunts in the next 2 Caravan of Garbage videos? So people may have seen,
Okay.
and I don't like to talk about this,
You do.
but I was very sure that I could climb a flagpole.
Which was actually a
It was a footy goal post.
yeah, well, a behind post.
A behind post, which is about the same standard height.
Sure.
Which I just want to point out.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, if you've seen that video, not to spoil it, I didn't.
No.
And it was.
You were so close to the top, though.
I wasn't though. That's
Not
the
at
joke,
all, no.
Mason.
That is the joke.
And anyway,
you might be like, did we manufacture the joke?
No, I
we
really
didn't.
thought I could do it until I was standing under it. Then I'm like, I don't think I
Yeah.
fucking can do this. But
Yes.
I'm thinking I am going to try this again. It probably won't go in this week's video, but it'll probably get a mention. And then, but it'll might be in Captain America: Civil War if we can get together and do it.
We'll figure it out.
I would love to give that another go. If Mason would only let me.
That's true.
And he'll do it too.
I'm
And
not
I've had a
gonna
few
do it.
tips and tricks. And also people sending me footage of them climbing up fly.
Your
Including my
brother did it.
brother
Your
did
brother
it.
did it.
My brother did it. So, and he's older than me.
I mean, your brother said he did it.
No, I saw a picture. Did I show you
but
the picture?
Yeah, I haven't seen the picture, but
I'll show you the picture.
bearing this in mind, James, he has access, James,
Yeah.
you know this, he has access to like long ladders and like devices that could simply place him at the top. Yeah, I know, but somebody could just place him at the top
That's
of that.
a good point.
You know, and then they just take the photo and it's like, oh, I did it. Did you do it?
Can you believe he did this to me as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
He said he didn't want to go any higher. He fell out because he was worried the pole would bend.
Come on, man.
Coward.
Yeah.
I would have gone to the top
Yeah.
if I could, which I couldn't.
You would have gone above the top.
Yeah.
You would have started flying.
I'd still be climbing.
That's right.
Flying.
To heaven.
That's right.
Here's an email from Georgia.
Georgia.
It says old school pranks for old school boys.
Oh, here we go.
Because we talked about pranks last week.
Always talking about pranks.
Yeah. Morning, gang. One time I short sheeted my little brother's bed and he cried so much that I got in big trouble with our parents. So don't knock short sheeting until you've tried it. Also, now he's like 6'3", so the joke's on him because he can barely fit in a bed. Another prank I did when I was younger was inspired by the hit TV show Prank Patrol, where I filled my parents' welly boots with ketchup. Unfortunately, no one put their foot in the ketchup because you could see and also smell the fact that your shoe was full of ketchup. I had to hose them all out before school and then was banned from eating ketchup for a month. What's a prank that you've done that actually worked? And or what's the most egregious example of a sibling relationship in media that was obviously written by an only child?
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's very good. I mean, when I was a kid.
We've done some pranks we will not disclose.
Yeah, absolutely. With some we can't. Some are ongoing.
Yeah.
And have been for 15 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do things and I forget. I used to do this thing when I was a teacher where like I'd go into the staff room and someone would have like a bowl of pasta or soup and they'd look away. Or
and you'd piss in it.
If it was a soup, I'd swap it for a fork. And then they'd go,
I see, right.
And then they'd get up to get a fork, get a spoon. And when they do that, I put the spoon back in.
Interesting.
And then not tell anybody.
Right.
It's just for me. And
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
just watch this happen.
Yeah.
And just see the sheer confusion.
Yeah. Like bewilderment, I think, is better than, oh, you got pranked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. I remember once there was somebody who I worked with who, these are nothing, where like they were going to the bathroom and they left a cold glass of water just outside and they were going to get it on the way back. And so I went and I filled it up with hot water and I just put it back.
Nice.
Didn't say anything. Didn't
great.
see the result. But
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter. I mean, sure, they might have been deathly allergic to hot water.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe. Maybe they're dead now.
Yeah.
You know?
I used to do, one of the things I used to volunteer this before I was a teacher and I'd go away with kids on camps or whatever in the holidays.
Yeah.
You know, and you do activities and games or whatever. I remember there was one time there was a guy there and I just didn't really like him. So I just hid his mattress. I just took it and I just hid it and he had to sleep on like a wire frame.
Interesting.
And I was also like, why don't you just sleep on the floor? Whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, I didn't know
It's
him.
more about him than it does about
Yeah,
you,
I
isn't
didn't
it?
even know him that well.
Yeah, right.
So he didn't even come to me and be like, why did you do that? Because like, why would he think that I would do that?
Yeah.
Because
What kind of psychopath would do that?
And anyway, on the last day, I put it back.
Okay, right.
So
Well, I was going to ask, where is the mattress now? But it's back.
I put it back. And
Interesting,
so,
right.
yeah, he would have. Also, he could have got a mattress from another room. I just thought it was like the way he handled it was just like,
Very odd.
what are you
isn't it?
doing,
Yeah.
man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really shows how much of a problem solver someone is.
I've also done more complex things, but I can't think of any off the top of my
Neither
head.
can I, yeah.
What are you doing? What are you up
I
to?
don't know. A lot of mine are actual crimes.
Yeah.
Can't talk about them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever been a prank guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are all fun though.
One time, this is a nicer prank when I was a teacher also. I had this, I did like an ongoing class competition. It was called Fish Points. And if we got enough points, fish points, then we'd get fish.
Okay.
And so I timed it out so they would get enough fish points at the end of this certain week, at the end of the day. And they went, now you owe us a fish. And I opened the cupboard and there was a fish bowl in there with a fish. And I went, here you go.
Nice. Nice.
And they're like, oh my God.
All your students were like, oh my God. Because they're in their 20s.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, he's been in there for like 6 months.
Yeah, right.
Just in the dark, which wasn't true.
No.
One time they were like, we demand a Christmas tree for our room. So I got the shittiest, smallest Christmas tree you could possibly imagine. I was like, there you go. There's your Christmas. I don't think I was a bad teacher, actually.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. These are all really sad now that I'm...
Oh, they're fine. And they're like, again, I think they're a better prank. It's a better class of
jacking
prank.
somebody or hurting
like
somebody.
exactly, you know.
Embarrassing somebody.
You know, something's like prank compilation. It's just buying a drink at McDonald's and throwing it in their face or whatever. That's actually not cool.
No, it's not cool.
Not cool at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll see that, and then like the person working behind the drive-through in the McDonald's would come out with a hammer or something, and I'm like, yeah, good.
That's a prank.
That's a prank, all right. And then just smash the guy's windscreen.
You're
It's
getting
like,
pranked.
yeah,
You get your head pranked in.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness.
My goodness, indeed.
All right. Anything else? What else you got?
What do you
Oh,
got?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kai Bastos says, my friend and huge fan of the pod, Victoria, had a baby this week called Luna. She would be delighted if you would wish Luna to the world welcome from, welcome to the world from Tio Kai, Tia Nika, and Tios James and Meso. You're welcome. That is awesome.
Very welcome.
Welcome to the world.
That's right.
Not
When
great.
are you going to play this? 21st?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, that's right.
Be like,
Hey, it's two guys.
two long dead guys.
Yeah, you might know us from we got cancelled and we died.
These aren't even our regular voices. I don't know what we're doing these ones for.
Because it's fun to do a voice sometimes.
Fun to do a voice sometimes.
Fun to do a
Maybe this is
voice.
what got us cancelled, doing this voice.
And that's probably true, yeah.
Yeah. It's cool.
What, just because we're doing voices of the guys we went to high school with? Is that why, James?
I think that's
why we
why.
got cancelled.
That is why. God, that's good fun, isn't it?
That is good fun. I got one more email.
All right.
A question about the little things in life. This is from Leonard. Hi, Leonard.
Let's go.
Hi, James Mason, a dog.
Yep.
A dog. My name is Leonard.
Hello,
I've been listening since 2015. I recently got diagnosed with muscular dystrophy type 1. I want to thank you guys for making my endless trips to the hospital much more bearable.
That straight up sucks.
and
I'm
less
sorry to hear that.
depressing. That's true. My diagnosis gave me a new perspective on life. For instance, I started to appreciate the little things in life more.
Yeah.
So my question is, what are some little things you guys get joy from?
Oh, good question.
I think that's an important thing. I think that's very important.
Totally.
It's like the idea of like, oh, a huge thing, you know, oh my God.
A huge thing will fix all of my emotions.
Exactly.
And problems
the
and
thing about a
monetary
huge
and
thing
otherwise.
doesn't happen all the time.
No.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes.
Can't graduate from high school every year.
No.
Unless, well, you know.
Maybe.
Unless you graduate from high school and then it turns out your results were fake and then like you have to go back to high school.
And those
you're
are
like,
fake.
but I'm in my 40s, and they're like, yeah, but still, there's some zany stuff will happen, but then you just have to go back to high school and it's boring and, you know.
And then it's fake again.
Fake again. I get bumped back to high school, you know, but it's high school for liars.
Yeah.
Fakers and liars.
But that wouldn't be real either, that one, would it?
No, that was a prank. I got pranked.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, cool. I got some things. I've recently started drinking coffee.
It's so good, coffee.
Coffee's incredible.
Look, on the one.
I was avoiding it because I'm like, I know if I start drinking this, it'll fuck up my life. And it hasn't.
That's great. That's terrific.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, a cup of coffee in the morning.
The best.
Ah.
Doesn't even have to be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you drinking a coffee from? You got a
Local
pods
cafe?
machine? Oh, you're going to get one.
I got a pods machine and I got a like a full espresso setup, but it needs a service.
Oh, okay.
The motor's
I've just got a plunger.
yeah, nice. That's good.
I got recently
nice.
as a gift,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's been delightful.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I also like playing games with kids. We're playing a game at the moment called Outfoxed, which is a board game where you got to catch a fox and your little detective chickens, and you got to catch them. And it's a cooperative game, and you use like clues on the board to.
Oh, yeah, nice.
It's fun. It's really cool. So it's not like let's destroy each other. It's Monopoly. It's let's get this fox.
Nice.
I
love it. People watch in the city. Sometimes I'll go in the city.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll get that coffee.
What are you
Get the cafe
doing? Is
brunch.
that what you say to them?
Yeah,
what are you
what are you
doing?
up to?
I'm watching you.
Why are you dressed like that? What's
Where are you
going on?
going?
Yeah.
You
sure.
work?
Yeah.
Is this your job?
Yeah. Look, standing near me. Is that what it is? You following me?
I'm not paying for this. Yeah, you do that?
I do that, yeah.
I don't really have any. I'm not really a people watcher.
Interesting. I love it.
Would you say you're a student of human being?
No, I'd say I'm a pervert.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
You know what I also like?
What's that?
It's not underrated. It's just great. Like getting really good sleep and functioning well.
Oh my God.
Isn't that the best?
Yes.
Your day is just so much better with a good or a couple good nights of sleep.
Yeah.
And even like one kind of okay night's sleep, which I had last night, did the thing where I woke up at 3 a.m. and then you're like, well, I'm awake for 2 hours. But yeah, it's just like
I think every minute of sleep you get before midnight counts as double.
that's probably true.
So if you go to bed at 11 o'clock, that counts as 2 hours.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hit it at 10:30. It's now 10:37.
Oh, damn. We've got another thing to record after this.
Which we might not do.
That's true. We might not. We might do it later in the week.
So yeah, and I guess also, I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to appreciate people more, even though, you know.
I mean, isn't that what this podcast, in fact, this very episode is about?
It's true.
Friendship.
People.
And the friendship between Count Orlok and that guy he tried to kill a bunch of times.
His mate.
And Aaron Taylor Johnson, he got the plague.
He got the plague, man.
You know?
That's crazy.
That's the boys, you know?
Yeah, the boys getting together to kill a Dracula.
Oh my God, have you seen this picture of the boys?
From this TV show.
No. Hang on.
Do I need to do anything?
No, you don't need to do nothing.
Thank God.
Okay. Here it is. Here's the lads from Nosferatu. They're just in a back lot somewhere with the shipping containers, but then they're old school costumes and they're having a great time.
They certainly are.
Having a great time.
God bless every one of us. Is that the show?
I think that's the show, folks. Thank you so much for listening. We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you for telling your friends about the podcast, because that is how we get new listeners. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for leaving a 5-star review on whatever podcast app you use. There's almost certainly a little place to leave a review. And if you give us a 5-star review, James will read it out on the podcast.
I'll know about it.
Yeah, he'll know about it.
This is from
you'll know about it.
Yeah, you're going to hear about it. It's from 1984. That's fun.
I love it.
He says, my friends James and Meso, these guys are the best. Happy birthday, Calvin. Happy birthday, Calvin.
Happy birthday, Calvin. And we are the best.
I agree. It's from Waddles.
Would anybody else say happy birthday, Calvin?
No.
What about Calvin's mum?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
Yeah.
Only we will.
Oh, it was Katie, technically.
Yeah.
But through us.
Yeah, that's right.
This is from Waddles95 who says, you're the best podcast ever. Hi, hey guys, Mr. Waddles95 here, and I have to say, you guys are the best. Would love to see you do a movie commentary on Escape from New York.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to look at those movies in some capacity.
That's right. Maybe when Kurt Russell gets off his ass and does anything.
Kurt arseful.
Nice.
Of laziness.
Nice.
I like him.
And he's in the Monsterverse TV series.
Oh, yeah. And I saw him recently in Hateful Eight, which I rewatched. You know what? Didn't mind it.
All right then. Great.
Didn't like it when I first saw it. Rewatched it, extended.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Congratulations, Kurt Russell. And Quentin Tarantino, who this week was like, actually, something, my 10th movie, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's always
What's he
like,
saying?
I think it was something like he's going to write a play and then he's going to adapt the play, and which sounds to me like he's trying to figure out ways to get around this 10th movie thing.
Just make another movie.
Just make another movie and then make a movie after that.
Just say they're all one big movie.
Say they're all one big movie.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah. Say.
So he's only done one.
Yeah, say all your previous movies were just part of one big movie and then you've got 9 movies left.
Yeah.
Good luck making 9 more movies before you die.
But each one of those movies has 10 movies within them.
Nice.
He's got 90 more movies left.
Oh, no, but good.
Yeah, good. That'll
That's
be
great.
good. He'll
That's
do a
terrific.
good job on that.
Nice.
Yeah. Those are the reviews.
That's terrific, folks. If you want to get into contact with us, you go to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. You can go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group, or you can go to the Weekly Planet Podcast subreddit or Discord for fun, civil chats about podcasts and pop culture. James, did you have a rebuttal to that?
No, that's all true.
That's very true.
Just thinking about whether or not that is true.
It is very true.
What?
Thank you to
Very
Sarabi and Maisie and Fidel for moderating
Yeah.
those forums. They also do the Weekly Planet TikTok channel. They put stuff together for the Weekly Planet Clips channel. Fidel edits video for the Never Go Back video series.
He does.
They're doing all sorts of stuff. If you want to follow some people on the socials, first follow our friend Rob Collins on Twitter. He's at Rob Collins on Twitter. He's
First
at the
and
Weekly Planet
foremost.
on Twitter. He'll keep you up to date on all the things the Weekly Planet. He edits this podcast. He does so much for the whole organization.
So many things.
That's right.
Yeah.
And by the organization, I mean the Mafia. He also works for the Mafia.
He does.
Yeah.
Which he likes.
And it's real and he's cool.
And it's free. He does it for free.
He does it for free. He just likes hanging out with Italian-American stereotypes.
He likes the mafia.
Yeah, it's,
We don't know what to tell you.
why begrudge a man for liking the Mafia? You know what I mean?
It's pretty cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's cool. It is cool.
It's cool. I'm with you and Raw Collins.
That's right.
It's cool.
You can follow me you can follow me at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter and Nick Mason on Instagram. James is Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere. If you want to support the show, you go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. Chuck in a buck or an amount you would not miss. Any amount is great. Or none, just listen to the podcast. That's also good. But if you're rich,
oh my God.
you'd be remiss to not go to bigsandwich.co for $90 per month.
Correct.
Bonus podcast, movie commentaries, early videos, video game, let's plays. It's all there. Big archive. You sign up, pay $9.
That's right.
Get it all. Get it all with some sort of app.
There's a We Got This covered this week, episode 63.
Hello.
What is that about? Probably you torturing me again.
Yeah, probably. It's probably one of the ones that you hate.
Which
And
is
that's
all of them.
fun. It's most of them, but it's not all of them.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
And once you've done that, if you want a t-shirt, you go to tpublic.com.
Easy.
Search for the Weekly Planet or Weekly Planet posters.
I'll do it.
Do that. Thank you to Brutal and Basilisk and Rackham for all our musical themes. And next week, a different thing. It's not Captain America week next week, is it? But it's something, right?
The Super Bowl and there'll be a
Super
Fantastic
Bowl.
Four trailer. I'd imagine that'll
Nice.
probably be a news and trailers kind of episode.
I'm just going to check just in case there's a movie out. Maybe there's a movie
There's
out.
always a movie
We
out.
can talk about Spider-Man animated series. Did you watch any
Oh
of that?
yeah, I haven't watched any of that.
Okay.
I'm not just because of that comment. I don't care about that. About the work
Oh,
thing.
right, yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm not super interested in it, to be honest.
Okay, James, here are some movie options out of the movies.
Okay.
Baby Girl,
Oh yeah, that's supposed to be good.
A Complete Unknown.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to be
We
good.
could watch Companion again.
Oh, that's supposed to be good.
You could watch Sonic 3 again.
That's supposed to be good.
Paddington Peru.
That's supposed to be fun.
Flight Risk with Mark Wahlberg.
That's supposed to be bad, but maybe
Is it?
it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can watch all 3 hours of The Brutalist.
That's supposed to be good.
I've heard it's good. We can watch Mufasa again.
That's supposed to be good.
No, it's not.
You've
It's
seen
not.
it.
I have seen it.
What about Gladiator 2?
Is that still in cinemas? I don't think it is.
Yeah, it is. I'm
Wow.
seeing some.
Conclave.
That's supposed to be good.
Yeah.
Den of
Amelia
Thieves too.
Perez. I heard it's
That's
bad.
bad.
And also, the actress in it said some awful crook stuff.
Yeah, that's
And
not
has
good.
been doing that for years.
That's bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that one's bad.
Yeah.
Wolfman we haven't seen.
We haven't seen Wolfman.
Better Man we haven't seen.
That's true.
Dog Man, though it's not out here for a while.
No, that's true. All right, let's talk about Super
We don't
Bowl
have, this is
stuff.
going to be an off-air
No,
conversation.
but it's fun to do things on air.
Oh, no, I'm saying we'll continue this later.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll continue this later.
Oh, you're going to hear about it.
You're going to hear about it.
Yeah,
We're both going to hear about it from our mums.
no doubt.
That's right.
They're always ringing and being like, this is...
Yeah. Well, we've given our mums each other's
Yeah.
phone numbers, so I just get calls from your mum. Yeah,
etc.
etc.
Thanks, everyone.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.